Hello, my friends, and welcome to our first ever second episode of You Awaken in a Strange Place.
Our first ever second episode.
Our first ever second, yes. I've never ran a second episode of You Awaken in a Strange Place, so this is going to be new for me just as well as it is for everyone else. But there will also be a sense of familiarity, as it is also the first time we've ever reprised characters and a storyline from a previous episode. So, I mean, usually these games are one-shots. Story told, shake hands, good game, you know? But we're trying something new tonight. I'm pretty excited. Yeah.
I'm thinking of it like Final Fantasy X-2, but with fewer dresses.
Or why not more dresses?
You know what? Ooh, more dresses.
Let's do it.
Well, tragically, I've never played a single Final Fantasy from start to finish. I am very unfamiliar with the rest. But I am familiar with adventure noir set on an airplane. And that is what we're going to be playing this evening. Why don't we do a quick reintroduction of each player and the character they'll be playing tonight. Starting with you, my friend, Ryan.
Hello, I'm Ryan, and tonight I'm going to be playing Detective Bubble, a jellyfish detective who lives in a big latex suit, and he's obsessed with solving mysteries, even when there's not necessarily a mystery to be had. So, you know, but he's just been trying to get home to Bubble's giving dinner, because all jellyfish are named Bubble. So, let's see how that goes for him.
All right, and Scott.
Hello, I'm Scott, as said, and I'm playing Bagheera, the occasionally bipedal jaguar, who is a fixer and a fixer in a mechanic's outfit.
And Zach.
My name is Zach, and I'll be playing Captain Hank Beefington, who is a tiny piglet wearing a captain's hat that's way too big for his head. And I think now has some war paint smeared on his face, too, if we're keeping continuity.
Some grease under the cheeks, right? Mm-hmm. Or on the cheeks, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. I love it. The pilot, that is of questionable ability.
So definitely not questionable. It's absolutely canonically awful.
Canonically awful. So, just to let you know, anyone who is here and hasn't caught last week's episode, last week our daring adventurers awoke captured. They were in a interrogation facility and were interrogated by Lord Boncher and his henchmen. Thanks to some nimble handiwork and a little help from their red panda friend, Lady Texas, they were brought back to their airship. They fought to regain it, and they found some blueprints for an underground military facility. Just as their ship was liberated, they found themselves in Bubble's homeland, the place he had spent the last 2 years on the ship trying to get back to. And shortly after they discovered this fact, their magnificent pilot, if I am remembering this quote correctly, said something like, points the ship directly downward. And that is where we left off last week. I made no one roll for it. I made the intentional decision. I think we all agreed the intentional decision to just figure out what that means later. Of course, we didn't necessarily know we were going to be here later, but here we find ourselves. So, I guess my question for you is, are we gonna have Captain Hank roll his flying stat completely raw, or is someone going to help?
See, well, given that I'm pretty sure Detective Bubble has figured out Captain Beefington's secret, which is that he is in no way an actual pilot, I think Beefington is going to try to wrestle the controls away from him, which should help stabilize the plane.
That makes sense. Yeah, if you're counteracting what Hank is doing, you're helping. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well,
The problem is, I being a jellyfish in a latex water-filled,
Mhm.
dealio, I don't exactly have opposable thumbs or a whole lot of dexterity, except when it comes to, I guess, stabbing prison guards in the neck. So,
Mhm.
but I'm just
Quite
gonna go
adept
for
at
it.
that.
Yeah.
okay. So, Bagheera, are you helping as well? Or are you just watching this all like a train? A train. That remains to be seen how it bears on its tracks.
Oh,
But a black train with no tracks.
I definitely jump in to help pull and wrestle the controls away and hopefully help not crash us into the ocean.
Yeah. So I imagine Bagheera, with the smooth talker that he is kind of using his probably more advanced knowledge of the ability to fly, regardless of the fact that you've ever done this or even landed one. You would
Watched
be
it
using-
done my whole life.
You would be using, I assume, your smooth talker skill to talk Hank through this. And Bubble, I would imagine you're using your detecting skill to help
Figure out the controls, solve the
Right.
mystery of what that button does.
precisely. So, Hank, you are, of course, using your piloting skill.
Mhm.
Each of you would, if you would, please roll 2d6.
2d6, eh?
Hey.
I rolled an 11.
Mhm.
I have rolled a 6. Wait, +2 though. +2.
Oh, plus 2, 13.
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Dang, guys.
That is beyond the best success you can have.
Well, here to counteract all that success is Hank rolled a 4. 6 minus 2, 4. So I'm not sure how it works here. Do you,
Well, the assist is a success is +2 to your roll, and a mixed success is a +1 to your roll. And Ryan with a 6 at +2, making a mixed success of an 8. And Scott, of course, is a full success, bringing you said
it's a
4?
4 up to 7. That's a
Up to
mixed
7.
success. Hell
The
yeah.
lowest possible mixed success we could possibly have.
So it's not a very short session. I thought it was going to be just smack into the water and we go home. But
All right, time to reroll characters.
You know, I have a feeling that
Tonight's going to be a good night.
Yeah, I have a feeling here. So, Hank, you are more confident as a pilot than you ever have been in your life, and that still makes you a very, very bad pilot. However, your friends Bagheera and Bubble, are able to, the three of you, navigate your way down to the keep wanting to say seafloor, the ocean. You make your way down to the sea. Your ship, regardless of your knowledge, has emergency measures in place that allow it to kind of act as a hydroplane. Hydroplane? Anyway, one of the planes that go on the water. Pontoon,
like the one that
plane.
landed in the Hudson. I remember that.
Sully!
Something like that. Yeah. So your ship lands on the water and is safe ultimately.
Well, they don't get closer to than that.
However, you notice that some of your onboard emergency screens are lighting up. You find that there is a leak in one of the cargo holds, and that you have lost, probably not insignificant amount of your passengers' luggage into the ginormous, untraceable, untrackably huge sea.
And,
that's not
since
too
a
long.
bunch of people live on this plane, I assume when you say luggage, you mean worldly possessions, like all of them.
You know, it's definitely a both. It's an always both kind of situation here because definitely some of the people that are on board the airship are live there, and another portion of those people are just making their way from A to B. So you know, it's a little bit of both. You may have some issues later on concerning that, but right now, ultimately, every person on the ship is safe and secure, and the ship will be able to maintain its kind of float for however long is necessary.
Yay!
Yeah. So
All right.
you are all you're all still in the cockpit. Bubble, your ancestral homeland is in front of and below you, I guess simultaneously. And Hank, you just completed your first ever landing of a plane. Congratulations.
One that was
Bagheera,
never meant to land.
you're intentionally on the surface of the planet for the first time in your life, and you know it. Like, you just watched the whole process of landing a ship. From what I remember from the last game, the first time in your life, because previously you were taken while you were sleeping and put into an interrogation.
Yes, it was quite a shock to come outside and find that I was not, in fact, in the air on an airplane.
Yes, right. So, with all of that in mind, what would you like to do?
I'm going to question Bagheera's deep-seated fear of not flying.
I wouldn't call it a fear. I just, you used to only one place for so long. You see something new, it's kind of shocking.
You live too long in the gutter.
Been in a plane,
Just
man.
Well, it's gutter adjacent.
I guess so. It's a small, narrow space. Not much room to go anywheres.
Yeah, it's a metaphor. See?
Who doesn't love a good one of those?
Oh man.
You see anything nearby that may be good for some of the land folk?
Oh, I don't know. What do you people? What do you walk around? I guess you're looking for land. I mean, we got water.
Well, we got plenty of that.
Seems like we got a mystery on our hands, fellas. There's some land. An enigma wrapped in a mystery. Oh, there's some land over there. I see some. It's right over there. West of here. See on
right.
Well, everybody, grab a paddle and let's start paddling over there. If you all could get the passengers and the crew, I think we have paddles somewhere. Just hop on the outside and put your backs into it, and I'll make sure I can steer us real good. We'll get over there in no time.
All right.
You're saying you want to paddle the plane?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's a boat now, but I can still captain. I can captain a boat. See, I can do anything.
I just imagine this gigantic, like, city-sized helicarrier in the sea, like 40 or 50 feet above the sea level, is just Captain Hank with like a 3-foot kayak paddle, just like
waving it in the air.
Oh, but what you don't know about Captain Hank Beefington is that he's actually impossibly strong. He was the champion of his That's right, a -1 in feats of strength for.
He's
Captain
canonically bad at two things: anything involving physical ability and piloting. Everything else, pretty good.
Maybe you can get on the intercom and get some volunteers.
Okay, I guess I'll do that. Attention, passengers, we've made a successful landing, just like we planned it, right here on the water. But we actually don't want to be on the water for too long. We want to be on the land over there. If you look out to the starboard, is that a thing? I guess
that's forward. We want to look forward.
Look forward. Yeah. We'll see the land that we want to get to. So if you all could just grab a paddle. If you don't have one, just maybe try to fashion one out of your seat tray or something. But you'll need to scurry on down the legs of this airship and get to the water so you can paddle real hard. And I think we'll probably be there in a few months if we really try.
I imagine the passengers are just making increased sounds of panic throughout the vessel.
I mean, they've had a big day. They had
there's a lot going on.
A lot of death, a lot of gunfire, and then nice smooth,
quite the
easy
ordeal.
landing.
After plunging straight down first.
Yeah.
So, Lady Texas finds. I assume the three of you you've left the cockpit, right?
Yeah, probably meander on out.
I don't even know if we turned the intercom off, to be honest.
Lady Texas comes and finds you in the cockpit. Is everything okay? Why have we landed?
Well, you have to land.
We haven't landed per se because we're over the water, lady. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. We may have watered, but I don't think we've landed. So, And the reason is everything's probably fine. Just the captain made an executive decision that, based on his assessment of the situation and careful weighing of all the possible courses of action, the captain made the executive decision to plunge into the sea, which, to be fair, is comfortable for me. But I don't have what do you people call it? Skeletal system. So I'm basically pretty much immune to all kinds of impacts. I'm a bubble. See?
Yeah.
Oh. No, that's all excellent points, Bubble. Thank you. I guess my question really is, are we going to take off again soon? Because I do want to get these blueprints, these plans back to the Resistance.
I know how to take off too. Come on, what kind of pilot do you think I am? I can take off whenever I want.
Do we have a courier or something? If we're gonna take off again, I gotta let my family know I'm gonna continue to be unfathomably late. It's been like several years so far that I've been late for the annual Bubbles Giving celebration. So
that's a lot of years.
Yeah, it's annual, so I've missed 2 at this point.
Check. Were you saying that you're over? This is your ancestral waters?
Oh yeah. If you want to come meet my family or something. In fact, my cousin Bubble, who you met doing resistance fightery things earlier, he is also late for Bubbles Giving, and I would imagine he would want to organize that whole side of the family. They're very political, very into smashing oppressors and stuff. But you probably don't want their help or nothing. Yeah, I don't know.
No, this actually is something that interests me a lot. You see, Lady Texas has kind of like been going over some charts in reference to these these found plans that and you can kind of see that she's been kind of like diligently, almost just like started ignoring you at a certain point, and was just like, no, yes, I actually, can we join you? Would that be an imposition?
If you eat plankton, there's gonna be so much. Oh my god, my grandmother's plankton baked plankton. Mwah. If I had a mouth, I would make that face and noise, but I don't. So I just have a tentacle that I put up against where my sort of transparent part is on my suit, and I go mwah. For grandma's plankton baked plankton, and you're welcome to have some. We usually make too much. And I think the family of blue whales next door died, so there's a lot of leftovers.
Jeez,
They were hunted to extinction. Tragic, really. Just that family, though, not the whole species.
A lot about you.
Yeah, sorry, I'm a bit of an overshare when I get excited.
God, super fair.
Do you guys poop? I don't do that.
I don't have to eat
I do
or
that.
sleep or breathe either.
I'm not sure that's accurate there, buddy.
Do jellyfish not poop?
Dude,
Justify yourself, man.
okay. If jellyfish do poop, where do they point to me on the diagram where the jellyfish poops out of?
All right, and then
oh, bleh. That makes sense. I have a mouth, apparently. I've learned all kinds of things about my fellow invertebrates.
Things I wish I didn't know about Bubble.
Like I said,
well,
a bit of an oversharer.
Well, Bubble, actually, it's a great question. I do poop, and I don't technically eat plankton, but you know,
It's a delicacy.
I have something I'm really not supposed to share this information with you, but I think I can trust you at this point. We've been through a lot together.
We watered a plane.
Yeah, give me your secrets.
I could actually really use your help, because normally I would have my comrades with me, and we would be able to take care of this together, but since we're no longer flying, and I'm not going to be able to get back to my comrades this way, any help you would be willing to give would be incredible. Because I do see, if you want to take a look here, she shows you where this chart and these almost worldwide plans for these military facilities, and you see kind of the area that you're over. You see it's your ancestral homeland, and you see this all. You see how there's a facility that, or rather, two smaller facilities. These what look like pathways in between two areas. They are mysteriously leading up to a certain point, and then nothing built off the ends of them. Almost like whatever research was being done knew that they would no longer be able to build that direction, or they had plans that they were keeping so secret they wouldn't even have made it onto this draft. So, as you can see, there is this area here, not too far from where we are right now, that I want to do a little digging into. Why would they be building it? Why this big area so near your home? It's the coincidence is just too much to not look into. Curiosity is killing.
Oh. Well, I'm sure my invertebrate family wouldn't be working with the humans. No. So maybe. I think I should get to dinner. I think my mother's getting worried.
Yeah. So, I'm assuming. The ship it's got its submersible, and there's the.
It could probably go underwater if we wanted to. Do you want to try?
The whole helicarrier?
Yeah, I think Captain Hank starts
boy.
like looking around for the submerged button in the cockpit.
I think Bubble's gonna look for it too.
Yeah, I might take a gander myself. I also would just like to mention, Bubble, I've got duct tape if you would like it when you do find the button.
Duct tape. I mean, I'm all for submerging. I mean, are we on different pages here? You want me to cover it up?
I don't. I mean, there's got to be like a smaller sub we could take, right? We don't need to sink the whole damn. That seems excessive.
Well, I would like just to point out that we are allowed to make statements about the world that become true at any point. So, when a player makes a declaration so bold, I think it is definitely worth it for many reasons to at least give it a shot. So, when you make a new statement about the world that becomes true, you do have to roll for it. So go ahead and roll. There's no skill addition or subtraction on this one. You just roll for it.
Okay. Is that Hank? I think Hank is the one that said, "I'm sure this guy can sink." Yeah.
You're raw dogging these 2d6, my friend.
It's either submerge or just sink. We're gonna find out which one it is.
Well, you're making yeah.
I got a 7, so not a failure.
There's a submerge button, but it's not watertight. Is that the mixed success?
A mixed success in this case is that yes, it does submerge, but it has a very limited ability. It's very slow. It's very like obviously the machine is not like terribly aerodynamic. It's this giant city-sized or hydrodynamic. I don't know.
It would be hydrodynamic in the water, but
thank you. But yeah, it would ultimately not be the most ideal shape of a submersible. But I want to say, with the mixed success, you do know that there are other ways in the ship to go under the sea. Your ship is the world that you live on is 90% ocean. So maybe more after the ice caps melted, and it is enormous. So I would imagine that any ship that goes in the air has some ability to survive in the sea. And with a ship this size, with its intended purpose that we learned last week of it being used initially and built by the radicals, the radical animals, that you would imagine this thing has quite a few tricks other than the entire ship going under the sea.
I think I have it here. I think Hank kind of suddenly, he's standing up on the little pilot seat because he can't quite reach anything on his own. And he points up and says, Bagheera, I think I see the button. It says submerge, and it's right next to the mini sub launch button. Do you see it?
I do see that. You're right. Right there it is. Look at that.
Can't reach it, though. You could either push it or give me a stick I could use or something.
I think maybe I'm just gonna press it for you. How about that?
Okay.
Logistically, that makes a lot of sense.
Got to delegate sometimes. Yeah.
I applaud both of your judgment.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and just press this button.
One moment. Maybe we should grab some kind of supplies. Everyone, go get maybe Bubble. Go get your family members. Bring them into the. We'll just say that it launches right out of the cockpit. Very safe. But yeah, if you want to take a minute and grab whatever supplies or family members that you want to grab for your trip home.
Oh yeah, no, I'll grab the whole family except Bubble. Fuck that guy. But the rest of them, they're great.
Perfect. So Bagheera, after Bubble comes back with the whole family except for that one guy. I'm assuming. Is it the? It's not the gorilla fighter.
No, he's cool.
Okay.
No,
this is a different Bubble.
Yeah, it's Slumlord Bubble. He's like a landlord for the shittiest apartments in all of the ancestral homeland.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll never get your deposit back from that guy. He's a real piece of shit.
Oh man.
Worst.
Yeah.
So yeah, all of you end up. You hit the submerge button and you begin your descent. Now, do jellyfishes like to go around coral reefs?
Do we look like a monolith to you? All right, we all have our own preferences.
Don't cancel me! Don't cancel me! That's amazing.
I actually have seen jellyfish around coral reefs, so.
I don't know why it sounds right. Maybe I'm just thinking of Little Nemo or something. I don't know.
No, yeah, you'll find them from time to time. I don't know about the specific, man-o-war jellyfish, but I've definitely seen jellyfish around coral reefs. So,
well, as you descend, you do start to see some of your, extended family. Let's say, your large and diverse community. I apologize, but each of them named Bubble. I'm assuming that Bubble, you would be giving direction to whoever is, or piloting yourself. Although I can't imagine Hank letting you pilot.
No. If anything, hey guys, can you look away for a second? This is I'm a little shy around strangers. As he gets in the water in his suit and like opens it up and like swims out of it when he gets in the water. But he is embarrassed because he's never been naked around you guys before. And while it's not weird around other jellyfish, it's like you guys are vertebrates, and that's, it's a whole other thing.
Yeah, your clothes being the like transparent like outer water shell.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, just making sure.
Yeah,
Amazing.
I'll look away, buddy. No problem.
I appreciate that. Nothing against you. It's just I'm just more comfortable that way.
Makes sense. Understood.
Yeah. But
Lady Texas peeps.
does she like what she sees?
Roll text.
Okay. That is oh no, she doesn't. I rolled a 3. So that's a roll for sex appeal. It's a bit like seeing roadkill, I'd imagine.
Well, you're not rolling for how high you are. You're rolling to how well you're reading Lady Texas's glance at your nudity.
No, she wants me. She totally wants me. I'm very perceptive.
I was gonna say you just don't notice at all, but you know what? You are repeat a better idea.
But I'm not into her, so this is sort of an unrequited thing. Really, she needs to back off a little bit. She's clearly not taking no for an answer.
Oh my god. Yeah. It was only a moment, but it meant the world to you.
It's nice to be appreciated, I suppose.
You know, that's very sensitive. It's very natural and beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
So, Bubble, and I'm assuming all of your cousins and siblings step out of the airlock.
Oh yeah, no, all 575,000 of us.
I know of you on the ship. All right, all 575,000 of you get off of the ship. I guess it was like you guys were like 75% of the ship's capacity.
Oh, I thought you meant I thought you meant the rest of the family that was not on the ship. Okay, yeah. No, the family on the ship is very limited.
Perfect. Okay, you all step out of the airlock. You are back in the sea, and you and Hank, maybe Bagheera, kind of like nudging his arms every once in a while, are able to kind of follow along with Bubble and his family's return to home. After a while of going through some fairly clear but increasingly dark water, your lights flip on. You're able to kind of see in front of you, and it looks like the jellyfish and any organisms that might be smaller than the jellyfish are basically the only things that live in these waters that you can see at this point. You descend even further, and you can see near the there's a large, I mean, a forest, like a redwood forest-sized coral reef. As you descend in between the branches of the coral, you can see below you a city. Lights, street lights, and everything sized so that you wouldn't necessarily be too small, as the jellyfish are all rather bulky. This is a huge city. It looks like.
I lean forward to the viewport and I say, "Holy mackerel! Look at the size of that mackerel!"
No, we're gonna get there and we're gonna hear the quickest way to the Nabu is through the planet core.
Okay, calm down. You see some of these buildings are made out of the coral. Some of the buildings are made out of like repurposed holes of airships and things of that nature. It's even in its kind of almost like collage-y architecture, you can see there's a great beauty to the city there. Something that almost something alluring, something magnificent. Not to mention something you probably never even considered in your lives, Hank and Bagheera. But of course, Bubble, you and your siblings are, or all of your family members are kind of zooming off one direction or another. But you have a specific location in mind. You're not ready to say hi to Mom just yet. You have places to go, and Hank, Bagheera, as you continue to follow Bubble, you're led down some alleyways that your ship is almost like becoming too bulky to even fit in. You are basically on the street level, and Bubble is leading you along. And finally, you get to this small 2 or 3 story building built out of the repurposed railings of a great ocean liner. This very sturdy and solid appearance, but a certain artistry as well. You see, well,
And out of respect for Disney's intellectual property rights, this is legally distinct from the Gungan City in Star Wars Episode 1, just to be clear.
thank you. Thank you.
Yes. Yes.
Bubble, you have navigated your way back to Detective Bubble, Private Eye, Incorporated, your detective agency. You re-enter the familiar office. You find your way to your desk, which in its drawers, of course, holds your large hand-rolled seaweed cigars.
A flask full of fermented seawater. It's a delicacy down here. My 50 caliber harpoon revolver. A note from my dead wife saying, "I always hated you, you son of a bitch." Yep. It brings me home when I see that. And yeah, that's about the contents of it. I haven't had a case in a while because I've been abroad.
Yeah, you hear the smooth saxophone playing out that are triggered to start playing as soon as you enter. Your sunfish secretary sitting at her desk typing away. Who knows what she's doing? Probably just continually keeping your life afloat. Doing all of the labor for you. So that's what you see. Hank and Bagheera, you see this big building, or this small building rather, and you see Bubble enter it. Relatively nondescript on the outside, but you do slow down enough to stop fully, and the automatic landing gear comes out of the bottom, and you're able to park safely if you would like to. Yeah, all right. So you park safely. As you turn the ignition off of your new sub, you see the lock for the submersible suits, your sea suits. That every one of these submersibles comes with. Kind of like the lights go on in its little suit compartment. Who knows? They have one exactly in both of your sizes. What are the odds?
So just to be clear, this is not a submersible that was produced by the Ocean Gate Company.
Hank has an Xbox controller the whole time.
Yeah, a generic one. Yeah.
Oh my god!
Thank you.
So that's what you.
I think Hank whispers to Bagheera, "Ow, I don't actually have to breathe or anything, but it might make other people feel better if I put the suit on. So I'm going to do that." And he starts slipping into his suit.
Yeah. Let's just say that's true and just get you in that suit, buddy. I think that's for the best.
He gives you a little piglet wink.
Gear kind of like winks back and then turns around and is like,
Definitely not delusions of grandeur. He's definitely not mad with power after being allowed to pilot the plane for so long.
oh boy.
Certainly not. Cool. You put your suits on?
Put the suits on.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You both kind of take a moment and make sure you're both secure in the suit.
Hey,
glass latched and whatnot.
I've never put one of these on before. Can one of you guys make sure all my seals are nice and tight?
Oh, I
There are
can
no
help.
seals at this depth.
Oh, damn it.
Now, does Bagheera's suit have a little like compartment in the front pocket that Hank can ride in his suit?
I'm not going to deny this pleasure. We're all
Okay.
sharing it.
All right, thank you. Yeah, I think Hank tries to help you get your suit correctly done.
Yeah,
Thanks, buddy.
absolutely.
All right, ready to go. Let's explore some underwater shit.
Absolutely. You step out the airlock. This building in front of you that you've just seen Bubble enter.
All right. Swim up to the building.
Yeah, as you swim up to the building, you are quickly brushed aside by another jellyfish that enters the building, almost at blazing speed.
Use a blinker next time, Dick.
They're there and gone in a flash. They might have heard you.
Some people.
I wonder
Yeah,
what
so
all
you
the
heard
commotion's about. Let's go investigate. Yeah.
the rest of the building. Yeah. You see a small directory as you enter. There are like 3 offices, and one of them says they're all different industries. You've got the Bubble, the woodworker. You got Bubble, the carpenter. That's too similar. But you have Bubble. You do see Bubble the detective. You do see Bubble the detective as one of the people who lives in or who rents out of this building.
Even though we
Hey,
live in a
there
classless
we go.
anarchist society. But maybe that's only in the air. Yeah, maybe jellyfish haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah, the resistance. I've basically made the resistance the anarchists, and everyone else is kind of like in a different, mode of existence, trying to live their way through this odd dystopia like Waterworld, but in the air.
What air world? Yeah, I get it.
What air world? Yeah. Nice.
You're welcome.
So you see Dr. Bubble or Detective Bubbles signage. I assume you make your way there. As you know, Bubble, your friend, is a detective.
So this is your office.
Yeah. You enter the saxophone. And you hear from the next room, and that's why I need your help, detective.
Sounds like our buddy's got a case.
Sounds like a dame. Possibly. or perhaps a non-binary customer. I'm fine with that. I don't know what the non-binary version of dame is, so I'm just gonna assume dame. I'm just gonna leave it there.
Anybody can be a dame if they want to be.
You know what?
Hey,
Fair.
you can call me a dame if you want to.
Yeah, all right, dame.
It's nice. It was nice meeting you, detective. I sure do hope you can help me. You have my number. And then she gets up to leave.
You know, I suppose jellyfish aren't sexually dimorphous anyway, so damery is all-encompassing.
Yes, absolutely. Like anyone on the internet, we're all hosts.
I look over and I'm like, hey, she had some real long tentacles. I don't know if that's good or bad in, your world, but I noticed.
They went all the way up, didn't they, Bagheera?
Sure did.
18 tentacles that go all the way up.
She sure seemed like trouble, though. I hope we don't get into any sort of danger because of her.
Danger?
Danger.
Danger.
What was all that about?
Oh, well, she wanted me to. What was that all about? I took notes. One moment while I consult my a secretary clownfish. Were you taking notes on that meeting? I haven't taken my Adderall today.
Oh. Yes, boss. I always take notes.
All right. Put yourself in for a raise. How's that for a note?
You got it. I'll email it to you. I'll C-mail it to you.
Yeah.
You get a text file from Doris, your secretary. The clownfish. Yeah, you said clownfish. I like clownfish.
I think you originally said sunfish, but we're just gonna
It's
go.
very different, but
I like that more.
Yeah.
I clownfish personally.
Yeah, well, I mean, Finding Nemo put clownfish on the map, so you know.
So
you gotta
true,
have
Bestie.
You don't even know.
Remember, it's not Finding Nemo. Here, it's Little Nemo. That was established earlier.
Yeah, Little Nemo in Slumberland is public domain, so we can use that. So you get this file of your notes in stenography. So it's like, hopefully you know stenography. It's its own language, right? Respect stenographers.
I'm probably gonna have to roll for that. Yeah. Do I? How well can I read that? Like, if I can't read it, can I figure it out?
Yeah, go ahead and roll detecting for me, comrade.
Yeah. Let's see what happens, comrade. That is with my +2 bonus. That's a 10.
Ooh, okay,
Hey.
yeah. So it's the case of Bubble, but you know when you read it out loud because it's how she introduced you herself to you. You know that when you pronounce her name, it's pronounced Rebecca. Not that's how she pronounces the word Bubble by saying Rebecca.
All right.
Rebecca, huh?
Yeah, canonically now it is Rebecca.
Rebecca, yes. I mean, they're gonna hear Bubble. They can't hear the subtle nuances, but
definitely, yeah. So the case of Rebecca. Rebecca is actually one of the few people in this area that is not one of your cousins. Crazy, I know, but
what?
True. Yeah, I know.
Wow.
Rebecca is, she's a dancer in a club. She sometimes she gets to sing some slots, but she has to fight for that. The girls there, it's a ruthless competition, and she wants to be a winner, but competition is stiff, and the boss plays favorites. He's always preferring the other girl's bubble and other bubble over her, which it's definitely a form of prejudice, So Rebecca's career is in jeopardy, and she desperately wanted a leg up on the other girls.
A leg up, you say?
Leg.
Yeah, a tentacle up. I'm so sorry. Tentacle up
all
on
the way out the door.
On the game. So she heard that the other girls tend to tempt the boss with sexual favors so that they can get ahead. And so that's one night Rebecca, she stays late. She tells the other girls as they exit, yeah, I'm just taking my makeup off. But really, she's just sitting and waiting for everyone else to leave, slowly getting ready for the uncertain next move. Well, the last of the girls leave, and she knows that sometimes some of the other staff, janitorial and bartenders, tend to stay a little longer, so she waits a little longer. When she finally does emerge from her dressing room, it seems everyone's gone.
What is she wearing?
Well, let's say Rebecca didn't want to make it too complicated to get whatever she was wearing on.
I'm reading about jellyfish reproduction right now, by the way.
So, but she doesn't see anyone in the club. The lights are all off. Everyone appears to have gone home, but she does notice a light under the Boss Bubbles door. She thinks that, well, of course, he knows that I haven't left yet. He keeps track of these kinds of things. He's a sharp one, old Boss Bubble. So she thinks he knows what's about to happen. So she doesn't think to knock, and she opens the door. What she saw, Boss Bubble, with a hammer raised up over his head till it came down swift on Bubble, one of the other dancers.
Shit.
She closed the door as quickly and as quietly as she could. She went back to the dressing room and left out the back. The next day, though, she noticed that Bubble, she was back. She appeared unharmed. Was this something that she imagined? Detective Bubble, we need you.
He didn't release him. She then took up orally, which is how jellyfish reproduce.
They're on some Jan Spontmeyer shit. Everything is in oral fixation.
It's certainly looking that way.
Why isn't Jan Schmockmeyer made a jellyfish movie? I asked you. Anyway, so that is Rebecca's case. She wants to know the mystery of the potentially hammered dancer. Is Bubble okay? Is she hiding some great injury? Might not be able to be seen on the surface? Is something entirely separate now?
Very good questions. So it sounds like you got a dilly of a pickle of a case here.
It's like a bucket of shit with a barbed wire handle.
Yeah, that's awful. What do you think the first step is here?
Get some gloves.
All right, what's the second step?
Okay. Gotta think ahead here. Well,
While you're thinking,
gotta do. Oh yeah, go ahead.
I think we're going to take our first commercial break of the night. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in 5 to 10.
Okay.
All right, folks, and we are currently in Detective Bubble Agency Incorporated, or whatever the fuck I called it earlier. We're in Detective Bubble's detective agency. We've just met up with the Dame Rebecca, and she had a lot of interesting things to tell you. Maybe a little murder mystery. But maybe not. Who knows what the fuck is going on there? Are jellyfish susceptible to hammer blows? I don't know. We're gonna find out. So, all of this new information. What would you like to do with it?
Well, it seems like we should go to the club and maybe talk to the dancer. Did we get any info on Bubble, the dancer Bubble?
It seems pretty logical to me that that would be a good idea.
Yeah, let's interview her. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I like it.
Let's get to the. What's the name of the club? Club Bubble.
Uh,
The
Lantern Fish.
the lantern fish. Oh man.
The sexiest fish.
Sounds spicy.
Yeah.
A blobfish is clearly the sexy fish.
You get to the Lanternfish club, and yeah, the sign on the wall. Its advertisement to the world is the most lewd image you've ever seen of a lanternfish, drawn in graphic detail.
Oh boy.
It's literally consuming the sperm trail from a male jellyfish, like explicitly, like it's going in a jellyfish mouth, or she's pooping it out. It's a still image, so you can't really tell.
Wow, your culture really goes for it, doesn't it?
Well, I just want to.
Okay.
In this world, that is absolutely true. Yeah. Although I would point out in our world, the male lanternfish are tiny little parasites, basically. But anyway, in this world, they are nasty little jellyfish sperm eaters. Beautiful imagery that you've seen on this wall. And you, yeah. Bubble, do you know this place? You've been here before?
Kind of sounds like Bubble. Is that you? I haven't seen you in a dog's age. You gotta.
I'm so embarrassed. Oh my god, I can't believe you're here, cousin.
Hey, I'm not here to see you. Well, matter of fact, maybe you can help me out with a little conundrum. One of your dances, Bubble. You remember seeing her the night before last? Rebecca, I believe she was working that night. Trying to get into Boss Bubble's pants.
I wouldn't know about that, but I do know Bubble was here that night. She did a great number, dressed like Bubble Monroe. And yeah, we were having a great time in the dressing room afterwards. But yeah, that's all. Seemed like a pretty typical night here.
Fascinating. And then you saw her the next day, and she was fine. Was she acting weird? Did you notice any marks? Was she especially heavy with the makeup? I mean, we're translucent, so it'd be easy to tell.
I mean, from my perspective, she seemed pretty normal. I don't know. I mean, we're coworkers. We're not like best friends or anything like that.
Does she have any friends around here?
Yeah, I mean, she's always been pretty close with Boss Bubble. He can be kind of problematic, but ultimately he seems to take good care of us. I get paid. You wouldn't believe the kind of money I bring in here.
Yeah.
But
respect is spelled Money. I definitely understand that one.
You got that right. Well, yeah, she's always been pretty tight with Boss Bubble since I started working here. She's also she's gone out with Rebecca a few times. I think that those two were pretty close. They've been working here, I think, about as long as each other. Well, and then, of course, there's Bubble. And
Yeah. And
I don't wanna,
Bubble, she's still working here?
no, she left, but,
That fucking
you know,
stank.
I was on pretty good terms. But, she had
It's that lovely woman. Disregard. I'll see you at Bubbles giving dinner.
yeah,
How late am I
she
for
said
that?
something about, she had to quit because some dumbass detective couldn't pull out, or I couldn't remember how she put it, but yeah, I don't know what she meant by that.
Yeah, I don't know what she meant by that either. That's a mystery. That's
but-
not worth solving. So we're gonna just drop it, and it's not gonna be an issue, and we're just gonna pretend, hey guys,
like that.
yeah, Bagheera, I don't. All right. Let's go talk to Boss Bubble. We got stuff to do. We're doing stuff. We're solving a mystery.
I got a quick question for you.
Oh,
Where the fuck is Lady Texas?
She's right here.
Oh,
Where did she go? Oh, no. I think she might be lost in the city.
Who?
We might have to go find her.
that's interesting.
And
I'm
so
pretty
the
sure she's
butt
obsessed
city.
with me.
Yeah, last time we saw her, she was on the sub with you guys. She came down here. She asked you for your help finding or going and exploring this area that seemed conspicuous to her on the map. But last time you saw her, she was in the sub, and you guys left. Instead of doing that, Bubble led you to his detective agency, where he immediately got a job and started doing that instead.
Well, that
Yeah, I know
sounds like
there's a-
it's a clue to me. I think Hank is actually has a notepad and he's writing down clue number 1: Lady Texas is missing, and it's probably the murderer.
Mm. I don't know if that counts as a lead, but you know what? You're doing a great job, Hank.
Well, thank you. So are you.
Go team.
You find your way through this club. You make your way back to the back door, where it's got a little label, Boss Bubble.
Mm-hmm.
I assume you.
Knock,
Yeah,
knock.
Go in.
Hey,
knock,
Jen,
knock.
don't even knock. Just barge right.
Yeah, we're gonna politely knock. Just to have a friendly chat.
Hey,
You know how friendly chats go.
hold on here. I'm putting my pants on. A
We're-
couple seconds later,
we don't have legs. Why is he putting pants on?
you see, a jellyfish. It's not even like they're pulled up over the legs. It's literally just a regular pair of two-legged pants. But they're they're tweed almost material. And he's got them pulled up like the jellyfish equivalent to over the nips. You know what I mean?
Oh boy.
I've been there.
Hey, what do you boys want, eh?
We came here to ask you a question about Bubble. Yeah, I heard
Blast.
I heard she might have gotten a spot of trouble. Bubble trouble.
I don't know nothing about that.
Okay. You doing all right? My friend Rebecca was a little concerned about it.
Oh, Rebecca, she's a sweet boil. But no, I don't know nothing about nothing.
Ah.
You want to go talk to Bubble, you talk to Bubble. Right now you're talking to Bus Bubble, and time is money, son.
Hold on, you don't know nothing about nothing, like at all, like not even business.
That's the double
what
negative.
Are you doing
That
running
means
this
he knows-
place?
That means he knows everything about everything. Yeah, we're on to you, buddy.
I'm hip to your tricks.
Detective Bubble, and he's speaking quietly but not too quietly. Is this the one that hit the other one with the hammer that we're investigating?
Allegedly.
Hey, little pig.
No.
You ever hear that story?
What?
Did ya?
I've heard all kinds of stories. I've been around for quite a while.
All right. Hey, turn around. Guys, this is all right. All right, Boss Bubble. You ever hear the story of the piece of shit jellyfish what got eaten by a leopard in a scuba suit?
Jaguar, but I'll take it.
You all look the same to me.
Yikes.
Whoa.
Oh.
Unnecessary.
Buddy, I know we're probably family at some point, so I ain't gonna take that personally. But I gotta let you know, making threats at a place like this is bad for your health.
I'm just
Now,
telling stories.
I don't know
You can
nothing
tell
about no
stories too.
hammers. I don't know nothing about no bubble.
You
wanna
don't
go
know
talk
nothing
to
about
Bubble?
no hammers?
You
You
go
don't know
talk
nothing
to
about no
Bubble.
hammers? That means you know some stuff about some hammers. All right?
My guy, you are grasping at straws. I have nothing to do with this shit. Whatever the
I'm
fuck.
about to be
I can't
grasping at
grasp.
tentacles.
What?
I'm about to be grasping at tentacles.
Oh, buddy, listen. I run a clean establishment here, but I can't help you with your fumbling detective boonery. So why don't you go ask Bubble whatever your questions that you're wondering, because I can't help you.
I'm gonna look around the room, like just kind of glance around the room for, evidence.
While you're doing that, I'm like, oh yeah, you run a clean establishment. A clean establishment so clean you're doing sexual favors in your office, right?
You know what?
Are there any sperm trail remnants?
Bubble, I'm gonna have you roll detecting. Bagheera, I'm gonna have you roll smooth talker.
I rolled a 6 plus 2, so 8.
I rolled an 11 plus 2. I'm finding clues everywhere.
Wait, so Scott, what was your
6 plus 2.
Okay. So Ryan, yours was at 12?
It was a 13.
Dang.
I got an 11 plus 2. Based on my knowledge of numbers, that's 13, my friend.
Okay, first things first. Some of my goals are they special to me. Whatever happens between us is consensual. I just need you to know that. I might have be in a position of power over them, but I treat them fair. I treat them right. Pay for dinner. I pay for their Uber. I try and take care of these boils.
You're a real piece of work, Bubble.
Hey, just because I take care of them, they take care of me, all right?
That
Not
sounds
that
like
complicated.
that sounds like a very unhealthy work-life balance, if you ask me.
You're damn right it is.
That's a personal judgment. You can make one about me, and that's fine. I've made a whole bunch about you in my head over here. But
Why don't you tell us some of them? We can't. We don't know what's in your head unless you speak those out loud.
That's true. We're having a conversation here. So.
Put your money where your mouth is.
There's a difference between me and you. I've lived, you see. I've seen things. I've been around, all right? What I know is you don't say nothing. If you have nothing nice to say about somebody, you've got to just say nothing. That's my rule.
Oh, you're just hammering. All right. I need to calm down. I take a swig from my flask of brackish seawater.
That's honestly a pretty good rule if you think about it.
Yeah, I ain't such a bad guy, all right?
You know what? You won me over, Boss Bubble. I apologize for everything I ever said about you.
I think
As he
he's
says,
innocent.
I ain't such a bad guy, all right? Ryan, you've been carefully eyeing the building, and as Bubble and Bagheera have kind of been occupied in this back and forth, you've been kind of slowly sneaking away and using your tentacles to reach further than your kind of to probe the ground.
Yeah.
And you're able to find your find some. I'm going to say you find, let's say, their resources at the moment.
Okay.
So this is something that could, yeah.
So you're saying I found a load of evidence?
Yes.
Sorry.
You also are, with that roll, you're also able to see past Boss Bubble. You're able to kind of angle yourself, and you see, I don't think jellyfish bleed, do they? You see some jelly. Like, you see some jelly, which to you is the same as blood. You
If
see
it
it
bleeds,
kind of
you can
like,
kill it. Yeah.
you can see like somebody has obviously scrubbed this room pretty recently, and they thought they were being real fucking careful about it. But underneath the desk, just behind one of the legs that might have been a little bit tough to clean underneath, you see what is very clearly some jellyfish jelly that has been jellied out of a jellyfish.
God. And it's not the fun kind of jelly neither. It's the violent kind.
You're
Oh,
You
absolutely
can
right.
tell the difference.
So yeah, I ain't such a bad guy. Now, you want to go talk to Bubble? You go ahead and talk to Bubble. I got nothing more to say to you folks.
All right. We'll talk to Bubble. Where's she like to hang out this time of day?
Oh, she's in the dressing room with the rest of the goyles.
Perfect. I'll be seeing you, Boss Bubble. I already.
for the record, Boss Bubble, I don't like you.
Now, that's not very friendly, Bagheera. You should give everyone a chance.
I should, but at least I'm honest. Unlike this guy, he's a liar and I know it.
Yeah, well, I was always more of a dog poison.
Wow.
That's
All right.
you're just the type.
So I guess we're off to the dressing room.
I think as we
Yeah.
leave, I think Hank like lingers kind of towards the back, and sort of pauses and turns slowly and looks at Boss Bubble and does like the little like watching you gesture, and he just kind of whispers like, "Now, Boss Bubble, you should probably know that I've killed before, and I'll do it again. I don't even care. I'll do it again. I'm watching you." And then he goes to join his friends.
Yeah. Boss Bubble, I would say he was slack-jawed, but it was more just kind of like he looked just a little bit juicier for a second.
Plus, because he doesn't have a jaw. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. You make your way to the dressing room. There's a door with a star on it. Very cliche. Pink. What do you do?
Do I see Bubble?
Oh, you've entered.
Yeah. Oh, okay. We should knock. It's the dressing room. Although,
I was
Totally
going to make that
seems right.
decision. Yeah, so you knock. You wait a few seconds. Finally, someone comes to the door. Oh, pardon us. We're not decent.
yeah, I'm looking for Bubble.
Yeah, Bubble, I'll go get her. And this beautiful jellyfish scoots away. Pushes away. I don't know what we can call the movement of a jellyfish, but she goes away. And a moment or two later, the Bubble you're looking for comes to the door and kind of like is peeping out through a crack. How can I help you, gentlemen?
Yeah, I just had a few questions. We heard this one was a commotion here the other night. I was wondering if you could tell us maybe a bit of what's going on.
Motion. I'm in a world.
Weston, I only heard every other
Yeah, I
word.
couldn't hear that either. I'm sorry.
It was very coquettish, whatever it was.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about I don't know anything about a conflict here. I went home early the other night.
Oh, I didn't say conflict. I said commotion. Was there a
Whatever.
conflict here?
Whatever. I'm not not good. I'm not good with the words.
Interesting. Interesting. You
What
know who
what
else?
are you good with?
I'm a dancer.
All right, you got me there.
And you're a cat.
Yeah.
And you're a pig?
My name is Captain Hank Beefington, and I'm the pilot. And actually, you mentioned dancing. Our good friend Detective Bubble, he's a really good dancer. I've seen him do it all the time. Why don't you show us how good you are? In fact, I think
Yeah.
he has a -2 in it.
That's neat.
Oh, whoops.
I do actually have a -2 in it, but I'm like, yeah, it's trying to get into the scene a little bit, see if this is a good place to work, you know.
I can dance too. I think he starts doing like a little, just like pirouette, with his hands above his head, just demonstrating that he's a good dancer.
Well, I've always been treated well here. I the work is a creative outlet that pays my bills. It's it's not always seen as respected, but I'm proud of my work.
Oh, I totally sympathize. I've got some moves myself, but you know, we'll have to wait. Is there anything going on with Boss Bubble the other night?
Um,
Would you say you hammered some things out?
um, well,
You say you were Bubble's twin sister, and you were the brains behind it all, and you sabotaged the whole thing to become the star dancer at the Lanternfish?
bro, protect.
I'm gonna crack this case wide open
Sounds like we solved it. Let's go home, everybody.
with an 8, a 6 plus 2.
I
We're missing
She
you.
pulls you. She pulls you three inside. The three of you come inside the room. A couple of the girls are like, "Oh," and, like close up their robes. But she says, "Listen, there's eyes everywhere." His voice.
I didn't think jellyfish had eyes.
Listen,
Yeah.
I can talk to you, but just not here.
All right. When do you want to meet?
I'll meet you at midnight. By the the Fountain Cafe, a couple blocks from here.
Oh yeah, the red herring. Yeah.
I'll meet you there.
Is there like a single street lamp that casts a really bright column of light straight down that we can meet under it, like flipping a coin maybe while you wait? That would be a good signal.
There's one exactly like that outside the Red Herring. We'll meet there.
Perfect.
Yeah, my kind of joint.
And you have to go.
All right. Let's go get some lunch, fellas.
Bubble, could you get your cousin out of here? And your cousin Bubble, I think you might have upset Bubble.
I definitely upset Bubble. What of it?
Oh,
I'm not social worker Bubble, all right? That's you.
I know it comes with the job. I get it.
I'm Detective Bubble. I detect.
Yeah, but I hope you know I care about you. I gotta see you out of here though. So you take care now, Bubble.
You take care too. I'll see you at Bubble's Giving.
Yeah, I'll see you there. It's always a bubble. Remember.
Always?
uh, yeah. So you have a couple of hours to kill before you meet up with Bubble outside of the Red Herring. Um, this was the majority of the leads that you got so far. Oh, right, Rebecca. Rebecca, kind of like, this is kind of the end of the information that she kind of gave you, She knew that something happened at the club between Bubble and Boss Bubble. You know, uh, you did find a resources, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, what would you, gentlemen like to do?
Well, if this was a more normal RPG, I'd say we go hit the markets and buy some gear, since we're in a new town. But since it's not really that kind of an adventure, think I'm gonna make some phone calls.
I think Hank
Well-
shares his little notepad full of clues that he's been jotting down as we go. And the entire list just says 1, Lady Texas is missing and it's probably the murderer. 2, Boss Bubble is innocent and seems very nice. 3, Bubble has a twin and it was all a plot to become the lead dancer. And that's the answer to the mystery. And 4, jellyfish actually have eyes. Those are all the clues that we have.
That's a pretty compelling set of evidence.
He's probably like making a little board with the red string, connecting all the clues together. And it's just like 4 clues. So it's just a square, just a square with crosses in the middle.
Pepe Sylvia 4 times.
Pepe Sylvia, we meet again.
Phone calls. Who
I'm going to call my local reporter buddy.
Oh,
He's heard anything around town. He's got his tentacles in all the pies.
yeah. On the corner, right next to the guy who's like, there's two dudes, and they're just kind of sitting there. One has got a trumpet, one's got a snare drum with like some brushes. They're just playing like some soft, like kind of jazz. And right next to them is a telephone booth. It's black and white because you're so far into the sea. There's just no way to see color.
Yeah.
That's how that works. Yeah.
The red herring, if you brought it up to the surface, would actually be green. But
yeah, so you get in the telephone booth. All 3 of you pile into the telephone booth, very, very comfortably, actually, because
I don't take up a lot of
3
space.
of you together. Yeah, the 3 of you together aren't even that big. I mean, you're in Bagheera's tummy pouch.
Great.
Cool. You enter the phone booth. You insert.
Everybody got a quarter?
Quarter. Yeah.
I might actually. Here you go.
I think I might too. I think Hank pulls out like an ancient Sumerian coin. Here you go.
It works.
Hank, where the hell did you get that?
I've been carrying it for a little while. Just for a lucky day.
Yeah, so it works in the telephone booth. You hear bubble, 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 and voice on the other line picks up.
Yeah.
This
Bubble,
is the
it's old
office
pal.
of. Oh.
It's the old pal Bubble.
Yeah. How you doing, Dick? What do you got?
Oh, the lanternfish. What can you tell me about Boss Bubble?
I mean,
Dancing Bubble. What can you tell me about those two?
you gotta know, Boss Bubble's wrapped up in organized crime. That's,
That's a
that's,
given. I mean,
it's not the establishment, that's for sure. Some of those dancers, uh, and just the vibe generally in there kind of fucked. No one really goes there, so you know what's being propped up somehow.
oh yeah, I'm getting that sense. I'm really getting that sense. I think this goes all the way to the top. But
Yeah, there's no conclusive evidence. There's no stories that we've had to write about Boss Bubble. It's he's kind of a small jellyfish, right? You know what I mean?
oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. He's practically a polyp,
Sure.
which is to say, a small jellyfish in an earliest stage of its life cycle.
Oh, yeah, of course. I knew that.
Yeah.
Well, if polyps are liars, I'm with
Oh my God.
We should administer a polyp graft. See if he's telling the truth.
Yeah, those are pseudoscience, kid.
Good enough for me.
Yeah, so we don't have any. We know that he's wrapped up with the Bubble Gang,
Oh,
but he's
they somehow got tattoos. I take it. And...
I think if you look deep enough, I think the lanternfish joint is actually he doesn't own it. He's just the manager. The actual ownership is in the hands of the the LLC of the company that the mafia used to move money around.
Yeah, the front. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
But yeah,
his
there's
name
no
on
evidence.
the liquor license. He claimed.
No, don't quote me on any of this because none of it's been confirmed. But they get up to some fishy stuff.
That's pretty unusual around here.
I heard recently there was a lot of activity. Just out of town, a few miles. There's this old. It looks like some kind of junk, something that fell in the sea. It seemed to be. It used to be military in construction, but it fell to the bottom of the sea a long time ago. And
okay, I thought you were talking about the helicarrier from earlier today, because that was us. But no, okay.
nervous for a minute.
no, just a few miles out of town. There's this old beat up facility that's just fell to the bottom of the sea. Different species move in and out of there, but it doesn't seem to keep any tenants long enough for it to have been incorporated, right? The Bubble Gang has been seen going in and out of there not too pretty frequently actually for the last little bit, but no one can figure out why. People have gone in there, they either see nothing or they don't come out.
You know why Boss Bubble might have gotten mixed up in that? Like what? That has anything to? We're trying to solve a hypothetical murder that we only have limited evidence for.
Listen, I don't know.
Vincent Bubble got murdered. And you're here talking about secret government facilities that are actually run by the mob, where they're undergoing gruesome experiments, grafting jellyfish onto whale heads just to see what happens.
That's some pretty disturbing shit.
I would read your novel if you write it, but that's that sounds pretty unlikely to me. But I would. It's a military facility. They're probably looking for weapons or some kind of tech. I don't know.
All right. Well, we'll go check it out. See if it has anything to do with this here murder that may or may not have happened. Actually.
Absolutely.
I appreciate your help, Bubble.
Yeah, let me know what you find out there. Like I said, every time papers sent anybody out there, either they come back seeing nothing but a bunch of seaweed growing in some old, forgotten military facility, or we don't see them again. I just be careful.
I appreciate that, and I also appreciate you being, the bigger man when it comes to me banging your wife. I didn't think you'd forgive me for that, but
No, she's
Try to
totally
see
fine. We're
that
not
this-
monogamous.
oh, good. She didn't tell me that at the time.
She
I
likes
just-
feeling like a dirty little. Oh, it's one of her kinks.
Oh, okay. Well, I now I feel weird about it. When it was immoral, I actually was kind of into it, but
Buddy,
man,
right now we all feel weird about it.
Pretty weird.
That's jellyfish psychology 101.
now that it's socially acceptable, I'm kind of uncomfortable. All right.
Investigate that, detective.
My discomfort?
Might be healthy for you, but no judgment. Do whatever you need to do.
I rolled an 11 for detect.
We don't have time, Ryan. You find inside Detective Bubble unhealthy amount of narcissism and the belief that you are somehow the Ubermensch, and but we won't get into all that tonight. You just that 11 will get you into therapy.
Excellent. A rare bout with self-awareness. It's
Yeah,
it's also
absolutely.
uncomfortable.
Maybe I can
Yeah. Work through it.
your friend. Did you have a name for this journalist? I don't remember. Oh, Bubble. Bubble, the journalist.
Jellyfish is easy.
God. What a great thing. It makes it easy, that's for sure. Bubble, recommends you a therapist. Says that they have they have free first sessions are free, so that they can make sure that they're a right fit. They seem real progressive and pretty cool. They give you the references. This therapist said they'll email ahead and let them know that you're coming.
I mean, C-mail ahead.
Sorry, email ahead. And that's they're trying to get off the phone. So okay, I can't be your therapist though. I know that you want to get a lot of this off your chest because it's a huge revelation. But
Does that mean I can keep banging your wife?
yeah, I don't care. I mean, if she's into it.
Okay, cool.
I think
I'll give her
Hank
a call.
is like furiously scribbling notes on the clues list, like Detective Bubbles banging wife. Question mark? Question mark?
Yeah, did he really?
Needs therapy? Question mark?
All right.
And sorry.
Take a detour on our way to the red herring.
Yeah, it's definitely been a couple of hours of you, just venting and oversharing with your journalist friend, while Hank and Bagheera just kind of sit there awkwardly next to you. Bagheera starts smoking. Anyway.
I am perplexed as to how Bagheera is smoking at the bottom of the ocean.
He makes it work.
Yeah.
It's in the helmet. It's in the helmet. Don't
That's
ask
legit.
questions.
Okay, yeah.
You've now got the tip off about the military facility out of town, and you've got the red herring to be at in probably the next half an hour or so. You know that the military facility is a little further than the red herring.
All right. Well, let's get ourselves a sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like to finish the herring.
I sure need to eat food for sustenance. And I wink at Bagheera.
Yeah. Me too.
Going to a different place for sandwiches.
Mhm.
Okay,
So-
you see a newsboy on the corner next to the Jasmine in the phone booth. Extra, extra! Red Herring now serves the best sandwiches in town. New development, the best sandwiches, folks.
Oh, wow.
Well, son of a gun.
Assuming, hang on a second. There's a mystery here because when I left, they had the shittiest sandwiches in town. A real.
Well, that was the last time you were here, though, right? Maybe they've gotten better.
Who
No,
used to have the best sandwiches?
The blue herring.
Ooh, let's go over there.
Yeah, you notice on the newspaper it says paid advertisement by the Red Herring.
Yeah, that was the mystery I was going to solve. I was like, they rigged it.
Yeah, so you head over to the Blue Herring instead. It's a tight window to try and make it to both in time, in the timeline you have here. But yeah, you go ahead and you give it a goddamn old college try there.
And this is when you guys learn that a jellyfish sandwich is basically the guy making the sandwich just waves a cloud of plankton at you with a slice of bread. It's an open-faced sandwich.
Delicious. I can't wait to eat this food, which is very important to survival.
You know, I am trying to figure out exactly how we're going to pull off eating this sandwich.
Oh,
Great question.
You just flow through it and absorb it through your.
Well, I should take off my helmet then. Should I take off my helmet? Do you think? And Hank starts like
Buddy,
pull the helmet off.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Oh, you're right. Got to keep up appearances. And he winks really obviously. And Bagheera.
Bagheera once again winks back and then just. Oh, we're in trouble.
Hank doesn't know that I've been onto him since I got on the plane. Like as soon as I walked on, before I met the man, I was like, "That's an ancient creature that does not need food for sustenance." Break this thing wide open, but he's so pleasant that I really don't want to ruin this for him. So I just pretend.
You know, I have no idea what's true or not at this point.
Yeah. So let's head to the Red Herring, where we can avoid the shitty sandwiches. And find ourselves a dame.
Absolutely. Yeah, so you make your way to the Red Herring. It is just a few minutes from midnight. You leave the Blue Herring with what you hope would be enough time. And, you're walking up to the Red Herring. It is, 11:59. And you see not too far in front of you, Bubble. And she runs kind of across the street, is looking around, kind of trying to be chill, but seems like a bit frantic. She stands in the streetlight. She turns around fully before entering, looking for maybe you guys, maybe looking for something entirely different.
Hey, Bubble, over here.
A shot rings out, and a harpoon flies from one of the tippy tops of the coral, somewhere that is more out of sight, and hits Bubble, and tears her jelly body in twain.
Oh my god.
There, on the surface scraper.
What do you do?
I think we're gonna swim up there. We're all buoyant. We're gonna give chase. Whatever this is, we can crack the case wide open.
I am an excellent swimmer.
With your hooves.
Is Bubbles obviously deceased from this harpoon attack?
She's been split in twain.
I mean, jellyfish. I don't know how they work.
That's true.
Fine.
That's true. Did she get split hot dog style or hamburger style? This
You
one
can
seems more
see
desperate.
you can see that she is in a she's been mortally wounded, but she's still kind of she's not motionless.
Oh,
She
God.
seems to be coughing, and you hear her call out to you, Bubble,
Oh,
detective.
I got no choice but to go to. You guys give chase. I'll try to render some aid.
We're on it.
You're gonna
Yeah,
make trouble.
I'm going wherever
You're
the
gonna
gear
pull
is going, so I have no say in the
don't-
matter.
So okay, Hank and Bagheera, neither of you have we don't have a swimming stat, so I'm just gonna have you roll absolutely just 2d6 to the two of you and tell me your result.
Okay, I'm helping. I'm helping a whole lot.
9.
Does Snake Eyes help in this case? Is that a good roll? Is it 2 a good roll?
2 is a very bad.
Oh.
So you're just like kind of twirling end over end.
Yeah, I'm gonna say
I'm in the
you
pocket.
fall
just
out.
waving.
You
Oh,
fall
no.
out of the pocket.
Oh no!
You fall out of the pocket and you land in the viscera that was previously Bubble. Bagheera, you are able to swim to the top of this coral, and you could kind of locate where the shooter was. And in fact, when you make it up to the top of the coral, you see a harpoon long gun lying on the top of this coral, kind of on this little platform. But there's no shooter anywhere. Yeah, that's what you see.
I pick up the harpoon gun and I'm like, still warm. And I set it down.
Is it like a book depository that he went to?
Yeah, did she go back into the left?
Yeah, just that way.
Yeah, this dancer was actually the president. Anyway, you speaking of Bubble the dancer, Bubble the detective, and Hank, you are the two of you next to the dying Bubble.
Bubble, you're gonna make it. You're gonna pull through. You just got to tell me what happened.
I'm pretty sure she's not gonna pull through, but it's nice for you to say that.
She's doing great. You're gonna do fine. You just keep your head up, kid.
I've seen a lot of this, and it doesn't turn out so good.
You're gonna move to that farm upstate. You're gonna.
I mean, half of her is over there floating away, so I'm not sure why you're telling her all this. To be honest.
Shut up, both of you. Detective.
Yeah, I'm here, Bubble.
You have to know. It was Bubble.
Oh my God. Goes right to the top. Thank you. I'm sorry it had to end this way, but I was lying. You are definitely going to die. Hank was absolutely right. The extent of your injuries is such that I am frankly surprised that you're even kind of held together by your surface tension. That's not great. So I guess bye.
Oh well, death comes for us all, I suppose.
And she fades. She dies.
Oh,
Man.
I think Hank like scratches out the first clue, which is that it was Lady Texas who was behind it all, because she said it was Bubble that was behind it. So obviously, it's Bubble. Like new clue, Bubble.
Do I know?
Circle.
Do I know Bubble?
Roll detective.
Okay. That is a 9.
She was referring to herself.
Oh my God. She was a clone of herself. She had reproduced asexually early in a development cycle. My God.
Well, Sounds like you solved it. I guess we should go back home now.
But who killed her? She was behind
I,
the railroad bubble.
I swim back over and I rejoin you, and I'm slurping up the last of a tentacle inside my helmet.
You stuffed it in there.
So, she's dead, huh?
Yeah, you got a little schmutz on your chin there.
Egg on my face.
I mean, a little bit. I know it's hard for you to tell, but there were definitely some. Yeah, you don't need to get into it. Anyway.
I'll get to it. Save some for later.
Anyway, it seems like our next clue might be at the secret government facility outside of town, which is definitely not the one from Stranger Ocean Things.
Mm-hmm.
I believe you, but we got this cool spear gun now.
I think we should all ride our bicycles and go right over there. Since it's not the thing from Stranger Things that you were talking about.
Paddle bikes, let's do
it. Yeah, sure. I'll give it a shot. I've never learned to ride a bike. This could be really fun. You know what? Yeah, let's paddle around on our way to the old abandoned military facility. That's probably run by the mob at this point.
Absolutely.
Always on to a new adventure.
You nerds get on your bikes. But you actually don't have bikes. You just steal bikes from some children.
Oh, yeah, we do. Fucking kids.
You,
See the look on those stupid kids' faces?
I think I'm the only one who really did, because, I mean, I know it's hard for vertebrates to tell, but they were a bit offended. That might come back on us later.
See, this is why I was asking.
We're just planting the seeds for narrative payoff later. It's okay. Don't worry about it too much.
yeah.
So, what are you, like an eldritch being or what?
Who knows?
So yeah, y'all make your way out. Oh, sorry.
He made a pact.
Oh boy.
You make your way through the pebble streets on these newfound bikes.
These newfound mysteriously ours bikes?
Yeah, who knows where they came from. And you you make your way out of town over some hills and off some dirt roads and
Underwater dirt roads. I'm sorry.
yeah, those underwater dirt roads.
Yeah.
Definitely. Pardon me. You make some decent time. It's probably, let's say 1 a.m. or so. Although, what does that mean when you're underwater and everything's dark most of the time anyway? Speaking of dark, though,
I don't even have visual sensory organs, so
it's an excellent point. However, your two friends, Bagheera and Hank, do, and
it makes me
their ability to see is not necessarily as good as it could be right now, considering all of that. It's not completely pitch black, but as I said earlier, it's hard to perceive color. Although I think pigs see color, but do jaguars? I don't know. Anyway, my point is that it is incredibly. It's not pitch black, but it's hard to see a great distance. The further out of town you go, but your bikes all have lights on them, so you can see your way on the road.
All right, this is extremely useful to me. A jellyfish. I can see why those jellyfish kids had those. What lucrative targets for vertebrates that happen to be wandering around town.
Those idiot kids. Serves them right.
Yeah, so you make your way to this military base. um, from a great distance, it just looks like this unnaturally squared off shadow in the distance. As you get closer, you start to see the almost chrome-like sheen of the building, and any light that happens to be any minuscule amount of light that happens to be present and emitting in this area kind of reflects off of it. You get closer, and you can see it's a shell, ultimately, of its previous form. There are cracks in the hull, and there are large areas on either side of it where it looks like it would have connected to a larger facility. It's any writing or emblems on the exterior would be completely gone to time at this point. But by its construction, you can identify that it is more than likely of human make, and yeah, and military. Sorry?
I checked just to be safe, and jaguars can see color, not as well as humans, but they can, and they can also see extremely well in dim to no light.
Oh, so yeah, Bagheera, you're kind of rocking it right now.
Yeah, my eyes look like Riddick's eyes.
I didn't think about that. That's beautiful. Thanks for looking that up. So as you get closer, you do see, curiously, the submarine that you left the detective agency. Parked near to, ultimately right next to this old fallen building, and right by like a large crack in the exterior that would lead in to the interior.
Well, that's curious.
Do you think Lady Texas stole our ride?
She didn't. Maybe somebody stole her and our ride.
I better. Is there a way to uncross something off? And he's trying to like figure out how to uncross off the first clue that said she was the murderer.
Oh, and interestingly, for someone who's been a jellyfish their whole lives, I just found out that jellyfish do indeed have light sensory organs.
Oh, really?
And rudimentary vision. Yeah. So, that's
So there really were eyes everywhere.
Yeah.
I gotta
So
fix all these
apparently
clues
I can
soon.
see that. Yeah. Like
Yeah,
we have lights on those bikes because it's pretty dark, and I can tell that because I have eyes.
There's like a hit from the score, the orchestra. But yeah, so with your light sensory organs, the three of you are able to see the submarine that you were once riding in. You take a look further. You investigate a bit.
Yeah. It's like
Go
a
ahead.
submarine.
Go ahead and roll for me.
I start swimming around the submarine, checking to see if there's any mechanical failures.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna have Bagheera and Bubble are both rolling detecting. Hank, is there anything you're doing?
Am I back inside Bagheera's pocket at this point? Probably. I think I'm just.
We can assume so. If you'd
Yeah,
like
I
to.
think I'm just floating along with Bagheera, just taking in the sights.
I just look at these dice next to each other. I've got a 1 in the tens place and a 1 in the ones place. So
Yep.
I think I've got an 11 if we want to look at it that way.
Yep.
But if we don't, then I got a 2.
Yeah, with the four total, because it is your +2, you know in the pit of your heart, you know that Lady Texas is dead, and her body drug out of this, and a tractor beam from some space aliens pulled her into their ship and are now probably like doing all kinds of sick experiments. Lady Texas.
Yeah, no, it's called Occam's razor. The simplest solution is usually the right one. So yeah,
Got it.
yeah. I'm thinking of what you put down.
What did you roll?
I rolled an 8.
Okay, that's an 8 raw. That's good. That's not bad at all. You can see that the landing gear is engaged properly. You can see that there is one of the third of the scuba suits or underwater suits. I can't remember what the fuck I called them. The third one is missing. Assumed to be worn by Lady Texas, and the sub seems to be in good shape. It has plenty of it has the ability to easily get back to the ship, the airship, without refuel or anything of that nature.
Well, good news. The sub is in good order. There's a suit missing.
Now, no offense, Bagheera, but Bubble is the detective here. I'm sure he has the real explanation for what happened here. I don't mean to cut you off, but let's hear what Detective Bubble has to say.
For sure. You look.
See?
Torch marks from the tractor beam. You can see them if you. Well, okay, you might be able to see them. I can't really make them out because my sight is fairly rudimentary, but trust me.
You're right. I see them.
Tractor beam's the only explanation. I don't know what they're doing down here. They don't normally.
No.
They don't normally get this far down, but
I'm not sure if our ship can fly into space. We could try. Maybe we should look for a button that says space travel on it. Once we get back there, anyways.
yeah, well,
That's how we solve this mystery.
We'll put that on a to-do list for later.
He literally writes it down.
Good. Now let's
Well,
now that we've solved the mystery of what happened to Lady Texas, because again, aliens, obviously. I think we need to get into that facility. I think it's high time we did that.
well, we got a sub to drive.
Hank like cracks his
We got an escape.
If driving a sub was somehow a totally different skill than piloting, it turns out Hank was actually excellent at it.
I think it's just piloting.
Fair.
I think it's just like.
Oh, I was just gonna say. Well, yeah, no. Let's see what happens. So you're trying to pilot the sub through the military base.
Is it
That's
a
the plan?
Like, do we have to take the sub in, or should we just ride our bikes in? That's the question, I think.
Should we ride our bikes into the sub and then take that? Yeah, think about it.
I think the sub might help because it has like sensors. We can, do a scan. I'm sure Hank knows all about how to use all the instruments on the sub.
Well, based on my knowledge of vehicles in Magic the Gathering, if you man one vehicle and use that vehicle to man another, you can actually kind of have a growth spiral of manning vehicles. So basically it'll be easier to pilot because we won't need as big a crew if we ride the bikes in.
It's Ocean.
That tracks, yeah.
The gathering, by the way.
Yeah. You're
Ocean. After that incredibly informative piece of information from the detective, you guys are still unsure whether or not to put your bikes in the sub and then the sub into the military base, or just go into the military base without any driving vehicle, or whether or not you're going to just ride your bikes into the military base. So very
Paralyzed by indecision. Very noir.
Let's say that if you take a look at this base, there's only a couple of places it would appear that the sub could go in. This area where Lady Texas, or where the submarine was parked by who knows who did that.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Aliens.
Probably the aliens. You can see it's parked by a little, a craft that looks like it's only big enough to fit one of you inside of it, or each of you in single file. Not quite big enough for the sub, but there is a couple of places the sub could go in.
I can squeeze into very tight spaces. I'll have you know.
That's very. Thank you. I almost forgot.
But
you can see that there's plenty of places that have small enough amounts of degradation that you could actually get in a number of places without vehicle.
Yeah, I think we should leave the sub here, boys, but probably lock it up in case the aliens come back.
Hank pulls out a fob and just beeps it.
Perfect.
Teamwork. Let's do it.
Car alarm on it.
I accidentally set off the alarm by mistake and alert everybody.
So you enter this military base through one of the spots, I'm assuming nearby.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Disturbingly close.
You enter and you hear the horns. But it's coming from a long way off. You can't see the musicians at all. When you enter, it's this very brutalist kind of architecture. Everything in galvanized steel and chrome, though. There's all kinds of monitors and little workstations that any number of military humanoid figures would be able to use. That would have been in use long ago when this was not completely at the bottom of the ocean. You see a few scraps of worn out fabric kind of floating through this area around you. Doesn't seem like there's any sentient forms of life, just a lot of vegetation and things that might have floated into here and just live there now. It looks empty in this big room that you first enter. That looks like it was some kind of important workstation. Most of the decals, insignias, anything that would kind of identify it have worn to the point of illegibility.
This is the horniest military base I've been to since Naval Air Station Pensacola, Florida. Because of the horns, see?
Oh,
I gotta take your word for it. I've only ever been on the plane besides here.
Well, should we try to I don't know, do hacker things on this workstation here? Is anybody good at that?
I am terrible at it.
Oh, well, you should definitely try it. That's how I've been flying the plane this whole time.
Hacking is the detective work of computers. I think I can suss it out.
I should have mentioned, it is very dark in here. It looks like any light fixtures and electronic equipment don't seem to be giving off any light. These are, seaweeds going through half of the monitors, and most of it doesn't look like it functions.
So it's a higher roll, is what you're saying, right?
Oh, yeah, my hacking skills won't help with this.
I mean, you all do have the technology skill because it is one of Bagheera's skills. Bagheera has a -1, and the rest of you have a 0 in it. It is your game. Do with it what you will.
I'm gonna try to hack.
Need to hack Scott's video back first.
Oh yeah, you're darn right we do. Scott, come back.
Here.
Unless you're doing a New Yorker columnist Jeffrey Toobin, and
No, I'm here.
okay.
You must have just lost your video for a second. Sorry. Yeah. So you all have the technology skill. Bagheera has a -1 in it. If you wanted to try and mess with any of the computers, lights, any of the tech that's in this large kind of workroom, it is your game.
I think Hank wants to put his little hoof on the console and channel some ancient power through his body to bring the systems back to life.
I mean, that sounds like a workable plan.
I think so.
Have I given you any resources yet, Hank?
No, definitely.
Okay.
I have a +1 from a failure.
Okay. Go ahead and show me a technology.
All right. See, it's 7 + 1 is 8.
You hit the power button of this large machine. Several monitors, all kind of queued up together. Several different workstations where multiple people would be working at this one, multi-monitor kind of workstation. You see the power button light up for a split second. You see the green flicker of it kind of jump on and go back off. You, for half a second, are able to see some of the screens turn on, and you just see one word, kind of like with the military insignia. In the center of it, it's just comms, 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 and then it fades, goes away, and as it goes away, you see electric eel fly out of the back of the console.
Well, that was
He's
weird.
like, I tried to help you. I'm out of here, and then it runs. It slithers.
Thank you, Mr. Eel. Wave goodbye.
Well, you don't see that every day.
Yeah, that's a fresh nightmare. I'll tell you what. Thanks, Hank.
Glad to be of service.
Using my advanced detective skills, I think there's some kind of horrifying thing that I didn't even realize about Hank until now. But cool. I'm just gonna cope with it.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, definitely.
Already going
While
to
that was
therapy.
happening, you saw like Bagheera and Bubble both saw like this like Hank's like hair kind of like just start floating, but like like static electricity, but inside the water. But it was like an instant and then faded. But it was peculiar. You both got it. So it would seem that you are in part of the military facility that is like used to be for communications. But it would appear that most of the technology would need a lot of electric eels to power it.
Well, time to go catch some whole bunch of eels, I suppose. That's the plan here.
I say we sneak further in, see if we can't figure out the brains behind this whole thing.
Well, maybe eels can be plan B then. Plan C or D. That's
Plan
fine.
E, I think, is the most appropriate.
I like it.
Based on my knowledge of spelling.
That's a good call.
Yeah, so you explore further into this this base. As you do, you go hall to hall, room to room. Dilapidated. Nature is reclaiming this whole facility. Some parts of it look more like the ocean floor than outside on those dirt roads in the sea. But as you go room to room, you are able to kind of notice that the horns are getting louder and quieter, and then louder and then quieter again.
Sounds like they're running from room to room. A whole brass band.
Sounds like trouble.
Oh. Horns are always the sound of trouble. See if we can't track them down. Do I see any tuba player prints? Because, they're heavy.
Yeah.
Track them down.
So, you're trying to track the location of the horns, right?
Yeah, the marching band or whatever that we're clearly following from room to room.
It sounds like a jazz quartet.
Okay.
Potato.
Go ahead and it's this would be I guess you could all roll detecting if you would like.
Oh man, another one of those things that if I squint I can make it into 11, but it's a sneak.
Wow.
2 in a row. That feels good.
Ooh.
I've rolled an 8 again.
Ooh.
The master detective of the group, Hank, rolled a 10.
Oh.
He's gonna get my 4 here pretty soon.
So that was a 4, Ryan?
Yeah.
If they were assisting, that makes a mixed success of a 7.
Nice. Good job.
Great. You're welcome.
Crushed it.
You get lost a couple of times. You run into like a swordfish, blowing a dolphin, and they're like, "Oh, get out of here! Get out of here!" But
that seems logistically very difficult. With the sword being in the way.
Let's
I can see
definitely
the other way around.
Let's definitely linger in this room for a while for the rest of the stream. Let's figure out what's happening. No, let's go on.
No, that was what I intended. No,
for us to stay here the whole time.
Yeah, absolutely. No, you eventually work your way to a smaller room. There's looks like a locker room. You see a bunch of personal lockers. You see a couple of places that had like human rifles and things like that. Most of them are rusted completely to garbage. You do see, you see an assortment of like human, not remains, but like the remnants of the people that were there.
Mhm.
And you do hear, not in, you can tell this is as close to the horn players as you can go, but at the same time, upon your first entry into the room, without diving a little deeper, it doesn't appear that they're in the room.
Hmm.
But it's one way in, one way out. So it's hard to kind of imagine where they could have been. You can still hear them as loud as you possibly can. You can pick out they're really going to town with each other. This jazz quartet, they're ripping it.
So not in the
And
same way as the swordfish and the dolphin. Got it.
Mm.
in a different way, yeah. You can hear from this point. You can hear glasses clinking. You can hear the sound of rough voices laughing and cajoling. Sounds like sounds like a real party, but they're at this moment out of sight. As you enter the room, they are out of sight. The locker room is fairly big. There's rows and rows of lockers, sinks, showers, little storage compartments and the like. That is what you see. What do you do? Oh, actually, that is what you see. And we are going to go to our second commercial break of the evening. And we'll be back in 5 to 10 minutes. Stay tuned. All right, folks, we are back. We have entered a locker room, a huge, military-sized locker room. Hundreds of personal lockers of what we imagine are deceased military personnel. We hear horns and the commotion of what sounds like a real rockin' party, but can't see where the sound might be coming from. People.
Well, I think we lie in wait. Try to maybe see what we can see, hear what we can hear. Make sure it's not a plankton band. Maybe they.
Do you think it's a fancy occasion? I didn't bring a tuxedo with me. Is it a formal party, or do you think I'm dressed okay? I don't want to get it wrong.
Is there even a place
think
we
I'm
can
dressed
get
appropriately.
formal wear?
I'm wearing my formal fedora, but beyond that, less jellyfish is pretty much clothing optional.
Yeah.
That clothing strongly discouraged.
You made sure to get your fedora when you got to your detective agency.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, that tracks. Yeah, so you lie in wait. You could hear the echoing of the jazz band. You can hear the. It sounds like the laughter and conversations of quite a few people. As you are you moving around? Are you looking for anything in the room? Are you moving?
Yeah, I'm trying to see who we can figure out is there.
Mm-hmm.
Any suspicious characters? If I can identify any bubbles that I may or may not be related to.
Yeah. So you kind of cautiously move through this locker room, using your ears to kind of try and track the sound, right?
Mm-hmm. And as much as I have ears, yes.
Right. I think we talked about a bladder that senses vibration, possibly, last episode. I actually rolled to get into this room. I'm going to say that using that last mixed success detecting that you all rolled together, which I thought was really cool. I think that as you move your way through this room, you're able to kind of, the sound on a much lesser degree kind of grows and decreases depending on where you go. And you can tell that when you go oriented from looking into the room from the door, when you go to the left side of that room, that locker room, the sound seems to bounce more and be less impactful. When you go to the right side of this locker room, it seems like it's a little bit more clear, a little bit more like it's getting louder to your ear or to your bladder, depending. Eventually, you're able to kind of tell that there seems to be some kind of it seems to be coming from somewhere near the in between a set of blockers. It seems like the sound gets incredibly loud. You make your way through into this area where you are surrounded by at least a couple of dozen lockers. This one specific row, and it seems like it's almost coming from the lockers, but yeah.
Where I can peek in there, maybe it's a tiny band, isn't it? I knew it. Tiny plankton band.
Inside
hungry.
one of the lockers?
It
I
seems to be
mean-
coming from inside some of the lockers.
One man's locker,
Oh,
another man's bandstand. If you
Are the
like.
That's what they
lockers-
say.
That old chestnut.
Are the lockers locked?
Yeah, you start investigating and trying to open some of these lockers. Some open, some seem like they might be locked.
Oh, I'm gonna start breaking some lockers open.
As you go to strike some of these lockers, I'm going to have all of you roll 2d6. Don't add anything to it yet.
Woo! I rolled an 11.
9 for me.
And a 10 for me.
Ooh.
We're rolling
man.
like gangbusters.
9, 10, 11. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're the best detectives ever.
Yeah.
You turn and you see Lady Texas.
Oh my God.
The
Holy
murderer!
gasp.
She's here.
Shh, shh.
Are you the band?
Did the aliens get you?
I've been here for a couple hours. Where the hell did you guys go? I was in the submarine. We were going to go here, and then you got out. You followed Hank or followed Bubble and into a building, and I was just kind of like chilling in the submarine. You left before I got my suit on.
In our defense, we thought you were literally right behind us.
Well, I guess that's fair. Anyway, I came straight here with the sub. I have things to do for the resistance guys. Come on, I thought we talked about this. What are you doing here? How did are you here to help me?
Assuming you're here to solve a murder. Yeah, we're here to help.
Yeah, no, but sure. But
I mean, is it a murder? Is it a not sure it's a murder? Because it was kind of not clear if anyone actually died from it.
Well, there was at least one murder because Bubble, got split in half by a giant.
Oh, that's right. You thought she was going to be okay. That's right. I remember now.
Yeah. That's
Mhm.
We'll go with that.
did you get grabbed by aliens?
Mm-hmm.
What of it? An alien what?
I don't know. There were scorch marks from a tractor beam on the sub. We just,
Yeah, we assumed aliens. I mean,
We followed the evidence and came to the logical conclusion.
exactly.
Aliens.
That's the scientific method.
No, but there is something really weird going on here. I've been
Aliens.
here for a couple hours. I've been here for at least a couple of hours at this point, and it seems like some of the local jellyfish, have some kind of organized crime ring here. I've avoided detection at this point, but this is a huge find for us. This verifies the fact that we are fighting. The lords have developed with their military these underground military facilities. I haven't been able to find out much. Most of the technology is completely toast, but in my findings, I found that there are. Well, this is like some kind of speakeasy for this jellyfish mob, I guess.
Oh yeah, no, that tracks. Yeah, you're not solving any mysteries here. We already figured that out.
Okay, well, I'm fascinated by it. I've seen like guys carrying trays into these sets of lockers. They like, here, let me kind of. It looks like they just come over here and they knock 3 times, and they say, "Oh, uh, Lady Texas knocks on this locker that she's seen a number of these dudes carrying large trays of cocktails and food." Um, and from the other side of the locker, he's like, "Yeah, the password." Jellyfish always, and the lockers part like a set of sliding doors, and below you is a staircase, golden handrails, red carpet, the jazz band finally blaring, almost obscuring the sounds of all the voices that you were hearing before. As you walk down this staircase, there's a bunch of nefarious-looking jellyfish. They've got eye patches, and they've got harpoon Tommy guns, and they're all like gesturing a lot with their tentacles.
Party time.
Yeah, you see some jellyfish dancers on a stage, very risque in that they're naked, because they're jellyfish.
Yeah.
But they're doing the mating dance of the jellyfish, the man of war jellyfish. Very risque, but modern still. Artful.
Holy smokes, this is erotic.
Bagheera's even getting turned on by the jellyfish. I love it.
Yeah.
What can I say? When you got it, you got it.
I'm trying to hold in my piece of the jellyfish reproductive cycle right now.
So noble of you.
Yeah. We're just going to gloss right over the concept of jellyfish knocking on a door, right? I don't know how we accomplished that, but
yeah. Who cares?
Good answer.
Resources.
Resources.
You get to the bottom of the staircase, and there's a couple of very broad-shouldered jellyfish with like tuxedo suits, kind of just draped over the top of their bubble. Draped
So
over
this
their
must
bubble.
be the muscle.
They kind of acknowledge you, but they don't directly confront you. Kind of, as you pass them, you can feel their eyes on you. Especially Bagheera and Hank, the two, and Lady Texas. But surprisingly, they don't stop you. There's a couple of tables. It looks like people are gambling at. There's a bar. There's probably, and of course, the incredible jazz band comprised of all red herrings. Yeah. What would you like to do? Oh, and of course, there's behind the bar. There's a back room.
Well, I don't know about you two, but I sure could use a drink right about now. Wet
Yeah.
my whistle. Maybe
Drink
they have
sounds
that
great.
that sarsaparilla. Let's get some.
that sounds like an excellent plan. Yeah, we'll walk in like we own the place. All right, we'll find a goon. Okay, Bagheera, you're gonna need to eat him. I'll go in as his double. All right, pretty good at
No
impersonating.
problem.
Pretty good at impersonating goons. See, and then we'll get down to the bottom of this, see what they're up to.
You just point me in the right direction, and I'll take care of the rest.
Are there any goons available?
Just to make sure I'm hearing you, you want to start a fight?
No, we're gonna isolate a goon. We're gonna have Bagheera eat him surreptitiously, and then I'm gonna come back in like I was the goon the whole time. It's like, oh, I am goon. I'm jellyfish goon. Hey guys, what are mafia plans?
Yes, we are all mafia goons. Please tell us what plans you have.
Are you wearing like terrible tracksuits now? So you come back in as Russian mafia.
Hey, you guys, let's do it. Miami Vice.
I mean, all right. Once upon a time in America, let's do this. So you lead. So there are, of course, the two. Looks like the muscle, the two people at the front, at the end of the staircase, who are still kind of eyeballing you. But I mean, to be fair, most of these look like jellyfish to you. But I would say, Bubble, you're able to tell, even with your background, you kind of just like, these are all kind of goony looking motherfuckers. I can't tell which one's high up and which one's low up on this food chain here. You've been away for a couple of years. This is a gang you haven't necessarily heard of before, right? I think we established.
No, yeah, and I haven't had a lot of interaction with them.
So, yeah, but the muscle, and you can tell there's like there's a couple of dudes, dude jellyfish. There's a couple of bubbles floating around that are clearly staff. Like waiters and people who work at the establishment. So yeah, you could kind of like ultimately take your pick. I guess, are you trying to lure them into a secluded area?
Yeah, exactly. Hey, goon, get over here. There's something suspicious that the boss doesn't like.
Yeah, I guess.
That kind of thing,
Yeah. Okay. So I guess. Yeah, you see a couple of bathrooms. You see a couple of goons. You go over to one of the dudes at the door. What's your angle? How are you gonna get him in?
I'm gonna go for the Bugs Bunny approach. Where I'm basically like, "Hey, big boy, I'm a lady jellyfish. You want to come on over? My name's Bubble. What's your name, handsome?
Okay.
We're not sexually dimorphous, so as long as I don't accidentally release a stream of sperm, ain't nobody gonna know the difference."
You do have a -1 in communicating. Am I making you roll that?
Maybe. Are you?
As
Okay,
to help, I use my smooth talking. I'm like, hey, you should listen to it. This is real good.
Yeah, go ahead and roll for me, both of you.
All right.
7. Wait, 9.
I got an 8 that turned into a 7. So, two of us.
both mixed successes.
Does that mean we actually are going to end up having sex? Because that's terrible. I really don't want to.
The large, broad-shouldered jellyfish by the staircase looks at both of you, kind of like puffs out his lapels and his chest. If I'm being honest with you, I do like a good I do like to stroke a cat or two.
Bagheera,
You, if you have
Yeah.
any interest,
Oh,
I can
you-
meet you in the bathroom in a few minutes.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, I'm Tony.
Nice to meet you, Tony. I'm Bagheera.
Tony looks over to his to the other guard. Hey, Tony, I'm going on break. So you and Tony head to the bathroom. Hank, I'm assuming. Are you still? Actually, I'm not assuming anything.
I think he's just hanging out in the pocket of the overalls, just like kind of, he's trying to do like earmuffs and cover his eyes, but he can't decide like which ones to do. So he's just trying to like not take in anything that's happening at any point.
I'm just shocked that I can there are jellyfish named Tony.
Oh, yeah.
Like when they become goons, they get names that are not Bubble. That doesn't make any sense. I need to rethink my whole life. I thought I needed therapy earlier, but now I need I don't know. I need a religious experience.
Damn. That's heavy. And so real of you. Oh my god. So Tony Bubble goes to the bathroom with Bagheera. So I bet you want to know what these tentacles do, huh?
Yeah, I'm real intrigued to find out what those tentacles do. Hey, let me ask you a question. Would you say you're into, I don't know, rough stuff?
I only have a few minutes. I'm at work.
Is that a yes or a no?
Absolutely.
That's enthusiastic consent, Bagheera. I think you should go ahead and try to eat them now. If that was the
It's
plan.
your friend a watcher, because I don't know watching part.
Don't
Well-
mind me. Just pretend I'm not here.
Well, I'm glad you said that. That means you'll be at least a little bit into this. And I wield my claws and I just start stabbing the shit out of her.
Pineapple. That's my safe word.
Sorry, Tony.
I don't know if you noticed this, but I'm a jellyfish. I'm very susceptible to puncturing.
Yeah. Jellyfish actually take -5 bludgeoning damage, but +7 piercing. So
Shut up, nerd.
Whoa. Dang.
I keep puncturing and I rip the tuxedo off and I eat him.
You eat him?
As was planned. Yeah, it's a
my
foolproof
God.
plan.
Yeah, okay.
yes, you make a plan and you stick to it. All right, Tony.
Yeah. I was just surprised that it happened that fast. I should probably make you roll for it, but it's fine. I really liked it. I don't want to take it away now.
You couldn't, I don't think, if you wanted to, because I just rolled a 12.
Oh my god. Okay, actually, with a 12, Tony says, "Oh, Bagheera, I'm so sad they killed me, but I have information. I want to get out of here. All the things they're doing, it's a nightmare. It haunts me." And then he dies.
Well, that sure was weird.
Conflicted about this.
Well,
I've
shouldn't
got
let a
you
good
beat
meal
him,
go to
too.
waste, Bagheera.
I mean, I'm gonna eat him, but That's it. All right.
That's what he was saying as he was going down.
But he's dead now.
You ate him. He was saying that as you were eating him.
All right. I
I
cracked
hope
the
it was
bathroom
worth
door.
it.
I cracked the bathroom door and I'm like, "Hey, Bubble, Bubble,
Yeah, I'm right here.
here's your tuxedo."
I suit up. Oh my God. There we go. I'm looking very formal. Basically,
Yep.
James Bond.
Yeah,
James Bubble, rather.
you've got the bodyguard tuxedo on, and I'm assuming that jellyfish don't see each other as all completely the same. But I feel like that would ruin whatever's about to happen. So I'm gonna say that these jellyfish have like a cuttlefish is able to kind of like disguise itself and kind of like undulate its body to fit certain forms.
No, that's what I'm
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah, I'm
Come
assuming
on, I
that's
wasn't
what you're
just gonna
doing.
go in there and be like, "Hi guys, I'm Tony." I'm not gonna be an idiot about it. All right.
Well,
Okay.
hey, maybe that's just what they called the bodyguards as Tonys.
That's what I was figuring. Like, there's no other explanation for it. I mean, why else would you call a jellyfish Tony?
Why would there be two of them? All great questions. Maybe they'll get answered tonight, even. But you are now you are Tony. But
I'm undulating in a very Tony-like fashion.
yeah,
It's me, Tony. I'm a bodyguard or whatever. Look at me undulate in a bodyguard-like fashion.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll help you for character, but remember, he also apparently likes to pet cats. So
Oh, just got back from petting a cat. Look at me, Tony, acting perfectly Tony-like.
um, from one of the no. First of all, Lady Texas kind of looks at you, Bubble, and is like, "The worst plan I've ever seen, you guys." I was going to invite you to be part of the resistance, but I'm really don't. I'm second guessing this now. I wish you the best of luck, but I'm gonna try and not get in the way over here. I'll have your back though if you need anything.
Much obliged. Watch as this plan goes off without a hitch. You got to think outside the box sometimes, there, Texas.
you'll see, Lady Texas, we're still the right crew for this job. We just got to finish this job.
What is this job? I mean, not this job, but that job.
You know the job.
Oh,
The
yeah.
resistance job.
Yeah, all right.
From the carps table, carps. It's like crabs, but underwater. From the carps table, you see a. Like all jellyfish are bald, but this guy's extra bald. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And he's he's got a lady jellyfish. He's got some tentacles around her shoulder. He's got a very expensive looking ring on his tentacle. Another tentacle. Yeah. He looks over at you, Bubble. Oh, Tony! Been forever! Come on over here, buddy.
Oh, hey. It's me, Tony.
Hey.
Undulating over here.
I just seen you walk out of the bathroom with a big kitty.
Yeah.
I always knew you were a freak, Tony.
Yeah, he pet me real good.
You guys are crazy. You kids and your weird relationships. I'll never get it. I go to church. Oh, did we lose Ryan?
Oh no.
Oh, piss. Cool.
Ryan was
Oh, Tony, you and this cat are freaks. All right. Well, I go to church, and you guys are freaks, and yeah. Why did I call you over here? Oh yeah, you're my luck charm. You're gonna blow on these dice for me, baby.
Yeah, I got you, boss.
He throws. Yeah. You bubble on his dice, and he chucks them on the table. That's craps, right?
Yeah.
Carps. It's
Yeah,
carps.
okay, carps.
And-
It's
yeah.
carps.
Yeah, we're under the state. Definitely carps.
I don't do that thing. I'm not. Anyway, point is that yeah, he throws the dice, and he you know what? Bubble, why don't you roll for me? See what he got.
He got a 4, which isn't actually a bad roll in craps.
All right, so the
That's
table.
cool.
Oh!
Carps is different. Yep.
Yeah, carps might be different.
Yeah. Did he have the bet on? Was he playing the field? Like, what are we talking here?
Yeah.
He
If he's playing the
decided.
field,
He
if he
did
was-
something good happened. Everyone's cheering. He's
Yeah.
drinking. Tony slaps you on the back. I called you my little luck charm, and you are. We are so big. Isn't that funny?
It's hilarious.
It's funny. Everybody laugh. Anyway, Tony, we got that business in a couple of minutes here in the back. You meet me there.
Yeah. I'll meet you for business.
All right, well, don't bring these two freaks over here. I don't like you in the pocket. I don't understand that. I go to church.
Hank makes like the saddest face imaginable. His eyes get super big and well with tears, and he just looks like so pathetic right now. That he was unappreciated.
Are you trying to evoke sympathy right now?
I think so.
Go ahead and roll it, my friend.
I think he wants to make him feel bad about not inviting him to the fun.
And I say, how can you say no to this face?
All right.
And I'm like, and I'm your old pal Tony. You know, I'm
I did roll
vouching.
snake eyes again. The plus
Oh.
one is a 3.
Yeah, you think that kind of thing works on me? I kill people regularly. I laugh at your tears, little one.
So do I.
You take a 1 emotional damage.
Oh no, emotional.
It's
damn it.
separate from HP.
I make one last attempt and lean in and say, trust me, this pig's a fucking psycho.
Go ahead and roll for it.
Six.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I was always more of a dog poison.
Oh.
Son of a bitch.
They're all dog
Stop.
people down here. Jeez.
You know,
Second time I've heard that today.
Tony might like cats, but I think you're freaks. I think you're weird. I live under the ocean. You think I know nothing about cats?
I don't know what you know about cats, buddy.
All right, well, Tony, make sure they don't come with you. All right. And he rolls again, and I don't know. Who cares?
He does a gamble.
He does a gamble.
and
You're
he
okay.
wins.
Yeah, but he told me he was going to meet you in the back room in a few minutes, Tony. Tony, bubble, Tony.
All right. Yeah. I'll meet you in the back room in a couple of minutes. Hey, boys. Maybe you guys, because I'm definitely Tony. Maybe you could be available for some backup. Like, I'll send out a signal. It'll be like, all right, you got that?
Could you repeat it one more time?
Yeah. It's,
I got it that time.
That's
Ah,
kind of what everybody sounds like down here. I'm a little worried that
Wow.
we're gonna misinterpret
Wow.
it.
Wow.
Yikes.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's a yikes from me, Chief.
Oh. Now I feel bad. I'm sorry.
Everyone gets it. You're old, Hank. Fucking boomer over here.
He's just from a different generation.
Yeah, different time, you know. How old did you say you were, Hank?
Think numbers go that high.
Oh boy.
All right, but Hank, that could be anywhere from 2 to, higher. So he's got hooves. So you can't exactly
That's
count on his
true.
fingers.
So while you've been having this aside, that mob boss who still doesn't have a name, but it is just probably named Boss Bubble.
The other boss, the higher up boss bubble.
Yeah, Bossist Bubble.
Yeah.
Don
Uh,
Bubble. Don.
He kind of, he throws another couple of whatevers, and then he kind of like taps a couple of guys on the shoulder, and they all start heading to the back room behind the bar.
Think that's your cue, buddy.
All right. I'm gonna go talk business. Act natural. Gonna blub my way to the back, where I'm definitely Tony.
Gira, Hank, are you guys? You're obviously not going to be allowed inside, but is there anything you'd like to do while Bubble is in that back room, or Bubble Tone?
Throw some carps?
Yeah, let's do a whole gamble.
Yeah. You have. I'm gonna say you both have however much money you think your characters would have to gamble.
Literally zero.
Hank doesn't
No
get paid as a pilot. I guess that
No.
makes sense.
He has no money.
You are really bad at it.
Yeah.
You're what a free pilot looks like. All right. I get it. So Tony, you go past the bar, and you enter this back room. As you open this this heavy steel door, you realize most of this construction looks a lot different than the rest of the military base. You went down at least one story, if not maybe more, to get to this speaking. And when you enter this back room, you notice the decoration is strange. It looks too big for just like a back room at a club. But there's a desk in the middle of this room, but near the door in the room. Some chairs scattered around it, a few other bodyguards, and a couple of other people. But strangely, you also see in one of these chairs a human in a undersea suit. They look like a very different make than the ones that your friends are wearing. It looks almost like there's like it's like hard steel, and there's like slots in the arms that look like gauntlets that swords shoot out of. And the other hand has like what looks like some kind of projectile weapon that can be used from it. The boots are wide and sturdy and look like they have the ability to propel themselves. But Bossiest Bubble is sitting there stroking a catfish.
Even though he's more of a dog person, I see how it is. I'm the freak.
Yeah. Um.
It's always the ones that go to church.
All right. So I want to introduce our guest. This is Captain Huggins of the World Government, the World Police. He wants to join us in our business venture. He says that the military has some kind of claim to our hideout, even though it is obviously a completely separate part. Now, I know this might be inconvenient for you, or at least seems so. However, the military is willing to donate a significant amount of funds to each of you in exchange for a little cooperation. They say, well, that we will never be poor men again, and our children's children's children will live wealthy and fabulous lives. Now, I can't imagine any of you are opposed to this, so I will introduce Captain Huggins, our new business partner. Yes, I am Captain Huggins. I want you all to know I don't mean to put any of you out. We are here strictly for business. We want to excavate an area we believe of great importance. Now, I would like to begin work immediately. Does anyone have any opposing opinion?
Tony here. I'm a goon. Hello everyone.
What are you?
Captain Huggins, I think your plan is great, and I think we all agree to it. I hope I'm not speaking out of turn, but I say this is a great plan, except two things. All right, first thing, boss, what are we doing out there about the lanternfish situation with Bubble and Boss Bubble? We already harpooned the one, but it's very important we get to this right now because it's time sensitive. It's on the agenda. Look at
Huggins looks over to Boss's Bubble, and Boss's Bubble looks over at you. Kind of squints. He stands up from his...
in a Tony-like way.
Huh?
I'm undulating in a Tony-like way.
He stands up and he walks over to you. Hey, the fuck do you think you are? You're just a goon. You have no right to speak here.
No, I thought I'd show you some initiative, boss. I wanted to be promoted to chief goon. I figured by
I'm so sorry.
Leadership qualities.
I think that might be the signal, but it all kind of sounds the same to me. I can't lie.
Gira's like,
Again.
it was. And we start running straight over to jump over the bar and kick in the door.
Yes, everyone, oh boy. We sure don't have a lot of combat in this game. Okay, everyone roll knife throwing. Everyone has knives. Everyone in the back room pulls out knives when you kick in the door.
Let's pull out my butterfly knife and my switchblade, my chef's knife, and my butter knife, and my cheese knife, and my bag of plankton snacks I toss over my shoulder. My bang.
So there are at least 4 combatants, 2 other bodyguards other than the one you were pretending to be. There is Boss's Bubble, and then there is one of the Dons. that was invited. There's a couple of people are kind of like already shrinking up in a corner, like and the moment you kick in the door, Huggins disappears, but not. He doesn't leave the. He doesn't disappear. He launches himself with his jet boots into the darkness past Bossus Bubbles' desk. Deep into this room, you can see his propellant firing and get smaller and smaller and smaller. Everyone give me your results.
10.
I'm throwing.
I'm
I
gonna
got
u-
it. Go ahead.
I'm going to use all 3 of my failure points that I've saved up on this roll. That makes it 12.
Well, you can only use 2, so we're going to call it an 11.
Well, 11, thank you.
But Ryan, what did you say yours was?
7.
7.
But you know what?
Okay.
I'm gonna throw in a failure point in there too. Make it an 8 just for funsies.
You know what? Either way, with the two 11s, or 110, 111, and
110.
a 7. 110 and 111 and a 7. Bubble, you take 1 HP, but between the 3 of you, you have one hell of a fight with these, with Bossus Bubble and his goons. Bubble, you immediately go and try and take out one of the other Dons that has entered combat with you. You disarm him, but he uses his other knife and his other tentacle to cut you up a little bit. Nothing super serious, but you end up taking him out. Gira, you quickly slash one of the goons into jelly, and Hank, you take out the other goon with a flourish front flipping out of Bagheera's pocket, like doing a whole rolling slash on another one of these jellyfish. And the 2 of you together take on Bossus Bubble, who fights like mad and has you both wrapped up in his tentacles, but Hank with your hooves and knives, and Gira with your claws and knives, you are able to take him and completely incapacitate him. If you'd like, you can make it non-lethal. You could make him unconscious. You can make him dead. Whatever you'd like to do here.
We gotta interrogate him.
Yeah, questions have to be asked.
I think Hank is like standing over his body and like starting to chant in some weird like forgotten tongue, and is about to like devour his soul before you all say we should interrogate him. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. Remember earlier when Hank looked like he had static electricity on his fur, his piggy little coarse hairs? Well, now it's like almost like a supernatural green aura surrounding him. But then, yeah, Detective, you say, yeah, let's interrogate him. And Hank goes back to just regular normal Hank.
Comes down.
Hank, you are full of mysteries.
Good thing we have such a good detective here.
Yeah, Bossus Bubbles is lying, or I guess floating, horizontally. He's kind of like coughing up bits of jelly. Tony, how could you do this to me?
I'm not really Tony, as I'll switcheroony. Tony's fine though, and we'll keep him alive if you tell us what's going on.
You probably tempted him with sex. He's hopeless, that one. I go to church.
Yeah. And you'll keep
So you
going
keep
until
saying.
you tell us what's going on.
Hey, well, all right. Here's the deal. I don't really give a fuck about no militaries. I don't like the humans. They smell bad. But they came here. They offered us a bunch of money and yada yada yada. We were gonna help them destroy the world. The thing is, I guess a while ago when we were making this hideout, we were trying to make it real big, right? My office should be the biggest office ever seen. You know what I mean? So we kept digging and digging, and we dug too deep. We dug too greedily. And you know what we found? We found some kind of eldritch nightmare that lives way down in the deeps over here. It was a kind of a silly mistake, but the military, they thought that they could bargain with it. So that's where they're at. That's probably where old Huggins went off to. But I don't know. They've been bringing motherfuckers back from the dead. They've been doing all kinds of weird shit with it. I don't know. I go to church.
He brings up an excellent point. Now, what happened with Dancer Bubble and Boss Bubble?
Yeah, you know how it was like they're bringing people back from the dead. Well, that's my cousin, Boss Bubble. He's a fucking idiot. But he murdered one of his dancers, and now they had to bring him back to life somehow. So they did some kind of bargain. They brought him back to life. Yada yada yada. I go to church.
I knew he was a liar.
We need to start waterboarding him underwater somehow.
Airboarding him sounds pretty good to me.
Wait, you're gonna do it airboarding
We'll
to me?
stuff him in my helmet.
I'm a good guy. I go to church. Why are you trying to torture me?
We don't believe you, and we're not very good interrogators. Sorry.
You can definitely roll to see if he's lying to you. Smooth talker, detecting, evoke sympathy.
9.
Oh my God.
Sure.
6.
It would be a 10 for Hank.
Hey, little one, I said you were gross earlier, and you were probably filthy and covered in your own feces. But right now I kind of likes you. So I hope you know I would never lie to a cute face like yours. You rolled a 9, Scott?
Yeah.
You've met a lot of liars. You've met some creepy, nasty dudes in your lifetime. This one, he goes to church. You don't think he would lie to you? What did you get, Bubble?
I got myself a 6.
Bubble, you think aliens kidnapped Bagheera?
Man, those aliens are everywhere.
No. I'm fucking sorry. That's a whole... we don't have time for this. You can't tell whether or not he's being honest with you.
Airboarding.
Well, I guess it's time to take enhanced interrogation measures. I like
for
this
the
part.
record, when I said I knew he was a liar, I was talking about the club owner who killed the dancer.
Oh,
I knew he was a liar.
Now that that's cleared up. Hey, let me go. I don't want to get tortured.
Yeah, you go to church. Anyway, let's go talk to that bozo, should we?
Yeah, church is enough torture anyway. Gary, are you still hungry?
I could eat.
Oh, no. Good dog. Take my catfish.
Dog.
Yeah. Pardon me. So, yeah, the bozo you were referring to, was that
Huggins
Captain
talking about, or
Huggins?
Yes, Captain Huggins, this eldritch waking fuckface.
Yeah, so last you saw, he was disappearing into the depths of this office. You go after him?
¿Por qué no?
Yeah.
Marvelous. You eat bossest bubble, and you proceed to just try and catch up with Captain Huggins. I need to write that down. I keep forgetting it.
Lady
So-
Texas, will you pilot?
Uh, what?
What?
We're in the old speakeasy under the seafloor.
All right,
You want me to go get the sub and try and fly it in here?
Don't
Oh, I
worry,
mean,
Bagheera. I know where to go. Follow me. Just go the way I'm pointing.
Okay.
As she's chiding you, you actually see on the wall is like a set of 4 like submersible jetpack. Just hanging out on the
the
wall.
jetpacks.
Perfect. Yeah. Assume you pick them up.
Oh yeah.
And you go after Huggins. You make your way through this this room that seems unending. As you go deeper, the kind of facade that they have going through the rest of the speakeasy, like it's this beautifully furnished, nightclub. The facade kind of starts fading away. The wood paneling disappearing and revealing these hard stone cave walls. The passage seems to be have been excavated, but as you go further, it would appear that the it feels more natural, like someone stumbled upon this another cave while they were digging this large room. As you keep going, maybe it's just how dimly lit everything is, how dark it is in this cave system. But it's almost like the stone is carved into these grotesque, inhuman, unknown kind of shapes, but almost with the sense that you're being watched by them. The feeling of overwhelming dread coming over you.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Yeah. You put in a trash compactor or something. Something suspicious is going on.
You never know.
Eventually, you find yourselves at the opening of a large cavern. Somehow, almost lit with like this dull blue, kind of bioluminescent light. In the center is a pool. In front of that pool is the armored scuba suit of Captain Huggins.
Oh.
He is it would appear, is bowing his back to you. I'm going to have everyone, I guess, detective, I'd like to move toward detecting.
7. See, yeah. I'm gonna add 3 failure points because bring that up to.
You can add a max of 2 per roll. Is that what you said?
I'm gonna bring it up to a 9.
Okay. You see on the floor, it appears as though some kind of channels, small, even etchings, carved into the floor. It's so large, going around the pool. All you can tell is that it is built in a circle around the pool. You can kind of see the curve of these lines going off either way, but there's no like real clear shape you can make of it. But through each of these etched little channels that are maybe, an inch, maybe less deep, is this odd red current that isn't mixing with the rest of the water around. Isn't almost seems like protected, covered over, but yeah, you could even you imagine that you could even dip your finger into this and it would run right off, leaving no trace of it ever being. It's thick. It's unlike anything you've ever seen.
Especially underwater.
You have not got the attention of Huggins yet. What would you like to do?
And his back is turned to us, and he's like leaning over towards this pool.
Yeah, you do hear him seems to be mumbling, but through his suit you can't really hear anything. Just almost like just the bass sounds of it.
Mm-hmm.
I might be able to drift over silently because we're still underwater, and kind of sidle up a little bit closer and try to eavesdrop.
You yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I'm gonna sidle up and I'm gonna see if I can hear what he's talking about.
I'm going to, from a distance, visually inspect this suit to see if there's weaknesses to exploit.
Absolutely. Go ahead and roll for me. Geez, I guess Bagheera will call it pickpocket.
All right.
Detective, are you you're trying to detect something?
Yeah, it's not playing the harmonica or mixing drinks.
Go ahead.
Oh my god. Snake eyes.
Wow, we've had so many of those tonight. Like the fourth time.
So I'm just gonna like accidentally wrap my tentacles around him, presumably, and
No, you think he's because you were trying. Wait, who was trying to listen to what he was saying? Is that you, Bubble?
that was me. That was Bubble.
He's singing "Ain't Nobody's Business" like if I do. And Bagheera.
With my +1, it's a 6.
With your +1, it's a 6.
Yeah.
And you were trying to
Just visually see
Understand
if
this
I
dude.
could spot. Yeah, see if I could spot like a weak spot somewhere.
Yeah, you this thing looks impenetrable.
All right.
But even with your prowling, you haven't been able to you haven't got his attention yet. He still seems to be kind of just mumbling on the floor, like bowing to this little pool in the center.
Well,
Guess there's nothing
what do we
smart.
want to do?
I think. Hey, Bagheera, you still hungry?
I could eat.
So,
We got to get him out of that armor, though. That's the problem.
okay. Hang on. Let's see if I can talk to him. Hey, Captain. It's boss's bubble. Hi, it's the mob boss. Sorry, we had a little bit of a disturbance. Gabagool. You know what I'm saying? Either way, we got some better armor for you. You know, in the back there. Yeah, you want some better armor? We got some. We're the mafia. Yeah, we found some in the military base. You know,
Your tentacle wraps around his shoulder, and with just the slightest touch, the buoyancy of the water and the lifelessness of the body turns him over. His mouth is moving. His eyes are rolled back in his head. His skin is pale. Strips of it torn. You can see his face is stress-ridden and a grayish white, completely unnatural color. Small cuts forming under the cheekbones and the forehead. You can't make out what he's saying, but Hank, when he makes eye contact with you, will evoke sympathy.
Okay. Uh, 3. Makes it a 4 actually with the +1. 4.
Hank, your eyes start glowing green. Your hair stands up as if affected by static electricity. You stop. Your body, without any of your limbs moving, appears to float out of Bagheera's front pocket and turn towards them and seems to levitate over the pool. Beneath the pool, the green aura coming off of Hank's suit becomes part of an enormous creature of almost indescribable features. Hank's glowing body seems to attach itself to a large stalk coming off of the front of it. It has mouth upon mouth. The body seems to be physical and liquid all at the same time. This floating mass, dozens of rows of teeth in each mouth.
That's I'm from the deep sea, and that sounds pretty horrifying.
It stares into your soul.
Thank you two for bringing me here, as it was foretold.
Oh no.
Bagheera, Bubble, your eyes roll back in your head, and you start mumbling. What you're
I only
saying.
have rudimentary visual sensory organs, so
Eyes
What you
had
say
it.
is unknown for all the world, for all eternity. You are consumed into the consciousness of Captain Hank.
No.
That's exactly how I saw it going. Perfect.
That is the conclusion of this game of You Awaken in a Strange Place. The first time we've ever done in episode 2, a second session of this one-shot game, and I didn't plan on that happening necessarily, but I figured rule of threes. You know, we had twice that Hank left in this weird, ancient, eternal kind of light, and you know, it seemed like the payoff.
Fits, yeah. Good work.
Well done.
Hank was telling us who he was the whole time.
Listen to people when they tell you who they are.
That's the lesson.
Oh, we come with morals here at You Awaken, at Nerdcrafty. We come with moral tales, and that's what we hope we brought to you tonight. Hopefully we're all better people for it. Guys, thank you so much for playing. That was an absolute blast. I think we really clinched the idea of a noir and an adventure all at the same time. However, we still completely evaded being on an airplane for more than like 10 minutes. So, you know.
It's true.
I catch an L on that one. That's on me. But I am really happy with how the game went tonight. I thought you all did incredible. I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for joining me tonight.
Well, thank
Hey,
you.
it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, it was great.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, thank you guys, but also thank everybody that came and watched us tonight. We do a lot of stuff here at Nerdcrafty. You can find me, usually you'd find me every Tuesday, but that Live with Lava sub schedule is going to be changing up here soon, as I am going to be doing an after school kind of program thing. That's going to be my new gig. I'm really looking forward to it, but it does mean that the schedule will be changing. It would basically be exactly when my live stream is happening that I'm scheduled to be working. So probably next week we'll have a different time and date for You Awaken in a Strange Place, or for Live with Lava Sub. But throughout the month of October, I am going to be trying to book more sessions of You Awaken in a Strange Place. So follow and subscribe to our Twitch channel so you'll be notified when we're doing those. And definitely check out our YouTube channel, where you can find all of the VODs from the previous episodes. This one and episode 1 will be up in probably a couple of weeks here. You can watch all of our Ironheart sessions, our D&D, Tomb of Annihilation actual play that we worked with. A lot of episodes of that. You can watch all my past episodes of You Awaken, or of Live with Lava Sub and You Awaken in a Strange Place over at YouTube. Definitely check them out. Feel free to join the Discord. We're always trying to expand and get more folks in. And shit, DM me if you want to play a game of You Awaken in a Strange Place. I'm looking for more players for October. And yeah, I'm always looking for new players. So check us out. Thank you so much for being here. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Good journeys.
Sure.
Yes, please.
Yeah. By all means, please check us out. We're on, if you look up Strangers Rolling Dice on pretty much any platform, you'll find our mostly D&D actual play, branching into weirder stuff. We don't have any like Eldritch piglets yet, but probably pretty soon, given the success of this, we'll introduce a few. But yeah, Strangers Rolling Dice, any podcast application, YouTube as well. Just look us up, and hope you enjoy.
Thank you all. Take care. Oh.
Not at this time.
I'm just going to show for my favorite band. That's all.
There you go.
Good night.
Yes, sir. Good night.